universally condemned. But the question is, at the end of the day,
who is being caned for writing blog posts.
What's our alternative in Saudi Arabia? Who's our alternative there? We don't get to pick and choose who the leaders of these countries are.
I'm talking specifically about entrepreneurs, capital allocators. That doesn't mean we need to engage in business and building their chip stack.
If you want the sternly worded press release, you just got it from Biden. Hopefully it peaks, it satisfies, it quenches your thirst, because the only other solution. I want to see
us talking about it. Actually, if you want to know what I want to see the three of you speak up for human rights. That's what I would like to see.
I think that human rights in the United States is way more important to me than human rights anywhere else in the globe.
Okay.
And I think that we have an abysmal track record of taking care of colored men and women in this country.
I don't disagree.
And so I have zero patience and tolerance for white men blathering on about shit that happens outside your own backyard. Fix your own inside backyard, because you guys, hold on,
human rights here as well.
Hold on, because you guys are the ones
and you do not get to diminish me for being white.
No, I understand, but I'm saying that you are uniquely in a position of power in a way that the rest of us are not. And so when you guys clean up the inside, then we can go and fix the outside.
To sit back and be like, nobody noticing me. I'm just this smooth guy running off with the money.
Current location 01010 Matrix Boulevard, somewhere in the American Society. Manifesto. Head west on Memory Lane toward North Babylon Trail for 0.3 miles. Turn left onto less traveled road in 700 feet. Turn right onto BLK Privilege Boulevard in 0.1 miles.
I try to tell them to follow the big dip, enticing by the ice on the side of a big ship, and now you get the true definition of big drip. The marathon.
Your destination will be on the right.
You must have thought that we was coming the same.
Shabbat shalom, gods and goddesses.
He did it, nigga. Man, you can't stop me, nigga. Man, you can't stop me, nigga. Yeah. Like, stop who? Nah, not me. It's a bird on a plane, kinda hard to spot me, cause I'm steady rising. I'm where the top be. Keep it moving, keep it coming. I be living stop free. Like, y'all ain't real enough. Y'all can't get with us. Run them digits up. I can't get enough. Y'all ain't real enough. Y'all can't get with us. Run them digits up. I can't get enough. Got people crossing me. Want me to hold their hand. Too busy holding bands. Too busy going in. I'm coming from the under. Need you to overstand. I started from the driveway. Now I'm a solar pan. By myself, no co-defendant on these cases. I'm using cases and I'm beating all my cases. I run it by myself. I'm stacking all these faces. How you get it? You too busy living basic. Stop who? Nah, not me. It's a bird or a plane. Kinda hard to spot me, cause I'm steady rising. I'm where the top be. Keep it moving, keep it coming. I be living stop free. Like, y'all ain't real enough. Y'all can't get with us. Run them digits up. I can't get enough. Y'all ain't real enough. Y'all can't get with us. Run them digits up. I can't get enough. Stop who? Nah, not me. It's a bird or a plane. Kinda hard to spot me, cause I'm steady rising. I'm where the top be. Keep it moving, keep it coming. I be living stop free. Like, y'all ain't real enough. Y'all can't get with us. Run them digits up. I can't get enough. Y'all ain't real enough. Y'all can't get with us. Run them digits up. I can't get enough. I ain't dwelling on the past, that's irrelevant. Staying proud, smoking loud behind heavy tits. Slow hesitant. I swear you can never rent. Trailers take a tit. Do it big, this the elephant. Ay, it's Zaytigee, yeah, I'm number one. Give a fuck about number two. I got shit to do. I'm ill with it. Go and get it. Jordan with the flu. We gorillas on the loose. Better call the zoo. By myself, no co-defendant on these cases. I'm using cases and I'm beating all my cases. I run it by myself. I'm stacking all these faces. How you get it? You too busy living basic.
Third world, baby, I done felt enough pain. The hard knock, baby, you could tell we not the same. I've been on this red, I'm already been a minute. Riding through the city with my wolf gone.
Stop who? Nah, not me. It's a bird or a plane. Kinda hard to spot me, cause I'm steady rising. I'm where the top be. Keep it moving, keep it coming. I be living stop free like y'all ain't real enough. Y'all can't get with us. Run them digits up. I can't get enough. Y'all ain't real enough. Y'all can't get with us. Run them digits up. I can't get enough.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Wall Street Bets Taco Tuesday. We talk about currency only. We are here with Empire, Professor Ras Natty.
We in the building. Damn, let's talk about today. Hey, time to make some money. I think I need a new little saying. Time to get the bag. I don't know. We're gonna say something weird. Just like they have a briefcase match in wrestling. I can't even remember the name of it. Money in the bank or something like that. And you crawl to the top of the ladder, and if you got it, you can like challenge anybody. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's a Money in the Bank type of episode. But yeah, Empress, we're ready for you. How's everything going with you, Empress?
12.
Look at that, eat crumpets.
So Bitcoin is currently at $14,640. Dominance is at 40.95%. Almost at 40%, if you guys can see it. Here at the bottom. Ethereum's at $3,103, down 2%. Solana is at $138, down 0.74%. Polkadot is at $24.58. It is down 3%.
That's a good play. That's a good long-term play.
Vet is at 7 cents, down 2%.
Y'all playing with Vet. Just a nice long-term play. What about H-Bar? What is that?
H-Bar is at 25 cents. Down 1%. Who else is on here? We got
Luna.
Near.
Yeah.
Near's at $17.
Kasama. KSM right under there, yeah.
ADA is at 144 right here.
Yeah, actually has been.
It's down 7%. Yeah.
Yeah, ADA took off. ADA ran up yesterday. Went on like 10% or so.
Kasamo's down 3% at 248.
Man, I'm telling you, like this is like literally. Oh my God, this is somebody's dream. They don't look investable, but definitely for the long term. Maybe I should say it don't look tradable for an amateur. Right now, this market looks like an investable market. I guess I just made that word up too. I guess you gotta figure out. Okay, man, why would you be worrying about interest rates? No matter how bad the interest rate, it can't 2 years. It can't be more than a year, I don't think. So like I be looking at it more like, bro, this is a discount. I don't like, and I know a lot of us who like, what if this happened? What if that happened? Fine, I understand it. It makes a lot of sense. Also, you feel me? I'm not gonna run over it. I'm telling you.
Luna's at $78%. Link is down 5% at $22.
See, Chainlink is right now like can't get right, but this is an oracle. So if y'all believe in Ethereum and any boys, Chainlink don't have to get right, or maybe another oracle protocol come along, but. Chainlink got a future. Chainlink got a future.
That is at 97 cents, down 2%.
A lot of people like Aave. I just see it like 200.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aave is Come on. $225 and it's down 0.5%.
I mean, the Phantom is right in that same box, but if you down, so not the other way. TM, you got to go over to the right a little bit. Yeah, somewhere right there. It's probably the only green brush.
A couple green.
Mana that's the one, bro.
The Central Land.
Okay.
That's down 2% at 281. Phantom is up 0.90 at 292. Theta is up 8% at $4.31.
See, if Theta's up, I think it's Theta Fuel, Vitor. It's a couple things that I like to run with this, but Theta and T Fuel, they usually together. Just to throw something out there.
Is you and I?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Swap is down 5% at $15.
Man, that's his. Oh, boom! I see my favorite, bro.
Yes.
You see him right as hell. GRT.
Graph.
See my favorite, bros.
Answer she's right here too.
So
Graph is down 5.25% at 51 cents. Sushi is down 6% at $5.99.
Yeah, we're gonna do some chart work after this for sure, because that market look amazing, especially as a trader, especially as an investor. Like I told you, anything under 51 cents, you don't want a graph. Even anything 55 cents, you still want as an investor. So I don't know how you can go wrong with graph. Like I said, bro, it's the only thing right now is the interest rate situation. We're gonna go into that a little bit also.
But any other?
Not as far as crypto. I know I'm sending you left field, but I kind of want to get a little stocks. Or stocks. I can't, but I don't remember how to do it on the actual internet site. The earnings.
Are we frozen?
Yeah. For sure. Alright. And like I'm gonna show Empress this, because this is going into this is funny as hell to me.
So you're looking for earnings reports?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Let me see if I can help you. But if you find it, that'll be amazing.
I was looking at Geo Group earlier, and when I looked at like side bar, let me see if I can do it right here. It was like a whole bunch of public like stocks related to it. Because what are they saying? Is it like public source for humans?
Real estate.
Exactly, there was real estate ones too. And that one is CoreCivic Group, right?
CoreCivic, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, CoreCivic. Yeah, but these are both sure Geo Group is a real estate, bro, but what happens is they own a lot of the land and shit that the business and stuff is on. I'm into a big importance as far as real estate, as far as when they talk the prison pipeline and shit. It's like, yo, we really gotta own that. We have to own the land. We have to own the prisons type shit. Right. So yeah. And I heard somebody going on that earlier to expound on that. I know a lot of melanated people kind of watch this situation, but I heard him saying you can kind of go within different sectors, and I believe it for the reasons being, but that right there is risky to tell somebody, because what happens is, I understand. See, maybe if you're trying to get ownership and you can get dividends, I don't get it. But the brothers was explaining, like, kind of, if you want to invest in what you could do is go to holdings. Like we showed you to go on Barron's and a lot of these different sites. You can see who's the major shareholders. Like every time y'all talk about Tesla, I'm like, yo, you know some nigga that's like, it's somebody that's like, yeah, whatever, y'all. I don't care about it. But yeah, so go to holdings and see like who's the major shareholders. And usually at the top of those lists, you'll see somebody like a Vanguard group, right? What me and Empress talking about somebody like Geo Group. If you go to that, if you go to Walmart, if you go to a lot of these top giants, you see Geo Group, right? You look at these niggas. I mean, a Vanguard, right? A Vanguard. Then you're gonna see a Blackstone. Sometimes you see a BlackRock. Just depends on the It depends on the sector. Some people are, you can kind of use the BlackRock and the Vanguards of the situation to kind of see really tech. That's kind of how I look at them, but it ain't really got nothing to do with tech. So, like I said, it's kind of hard to. Well, I don't. Like I said, I'm more so rather look at the charts and then figure out what's going on. But
it's right here. The Geo Group one, I couldn't find the same setup with the correlating stocks anymore for some odd reason. I did find the earnings. It's right here.
Okay, when is who has earnings coming up?
Goldman Sachs has its earnings coming up
Today.
Oh, today, yes, they had their earnings today, and I think they performed below expectations.
No, it's not even. So it's already out. Yeah. Because today is the 18th. I'm looking at it being the 19th.
Yeah. Who else is on here? Is this in Bank of America? Let's see if there's any familiar. Goldman Sachs GR, same day.
All right. So do we have
PNC Financial?
What do we have coming up for tomorrow?
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so tomorrow, Bank of America. That's what I just seen.
Today, the Astro is supposed to pass by us. Did anybody get a chance to watch it live? I forgot the Empress.
The what?
They kept on saying all week that NASA seen the Astro is supposed to be flying by our planet.
Interesting. Yeah. Procter Gamble has earnings. United Health, United Airlines Holdings, Discover Financial.
It was somebody in here that I really wanted to say as far as earnings. I know a lot of people may be looking at this stock.
Another Bank of America, Morgan Stanley.
Okay, so around this time, it's banks. You would be saying like is banks doing earnings?
Yeah, and financial and holding companies.
Okay.
So Umcock Holding, Preferred Bank, Ban Corporation.
Because I heard my brother did good. The brother that we about to expand on a little bit, and not him personally. I seen him making some other jokes, and I can't wait for them to come on the next cast. I'll tell you, I remember last year when people were saying that, they shorted this and blah blah blah. They came on there, they turned into the Illuminati. They was making jokes all day, so I can't wait for it. But that brother, he's one of the brothers that brought stuff like SoFi public, right? And remember we was checking out SoFi that one day. SoFi had some good news coming out, and I guess some earnings or something supposed to be coming up for SoFi also. So this would make sense if you just going down and show me some banks and things like that.
Yeah, Citizens Financial, Discover Financial, holding company.
Okay. So these are all holding.
Gamble is in a holding company.
Somebody, I was like, man, they got a hold in. I thought I had screenshot this whole situation.
Consumer non-cyclicals. Personal and household products and services. Personal products. Procter & Gamble is a company focused on providing branded consumer packaged goods to the consumer across the world. The company operates through 5 segments: beauty, grooming, health care, But yeah, so beauty, grooming, health, fabric, and home care, all those basic essentials. Tampax, Bounty, Charmin, Puffs, Mr. Clean, these are all their brands. Vicks, Gain, Tide, Cascade, Dawn, Febreze, Swiffer, Loves, Pampers, Always, Gillette, Venus, all Procter Gamble. Oral-B, Pepto-Bismol.
Procter & Gamble, a legacy company anyways.
Herbal Essence, Head and Shoulders.
Procter & Gamble.
What you mean?
Hit a nigga with the ultimate 1 minute fake out. I'm talking about the ultimate 1 minute fake out. What's going on in the bigger time frame? Man, this shit like it's setting up. Can you go to a bigger time frame? Adjustment to a red junction, but that don't mean nothing. What about the weekly? Okay, it's not setting up. Setting up almost a gap the fuck out of you. If you get in on that 4-hour entry, they're using that to take your the down. What about the monthly though? Because this may be another story. The monthly might go up. Yeah.
PC don't look too good.
So no, it don't look bad. What's that reversal for the monthly?
136.
It look quite good to me.
They saying it's gonna work its way up.
They look better than they don't look, but that monthly downtrend is gonna be that monthly downtrend could take them from 150 to 142. But they still got to get to what you said, 130 something.
36.
That's low, bro. That's kind of low in the stock world. That nigga, they don't move that much.
Exactly. That's all I'm thinking. Is like that.
They don't move that much just to be dropping like that randomly. But
if they slowly move, they could work their way up.
And like I said, based on the weekly down or whatever that down is, that super close to them, they can, because I mean the weekly is far away from them. Oh, the weekly is coming, the monthly is far away, so they don't have to use the monthly.
The week is 155.
Tomorrow they can use the weekly as a test.
For the monthly.
They can use the weekly as a test, come down a little bit, and then reverse that boy, and then be back on their way up.
So just touch it.
Nah, I'm talking about just reverse it and everything. Yeah.
Wait, for the monthly?
No, the monthly, yeah, the monthly. Yeah, nah, not even touch it.
Okay.
I don't want to give back
one of these. Wait, yeah, right here. Cause this didn't touch it.
Yeah, I don't want to give back this whole candle. So even by half of that green candle, we straight with.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you see that one big green that was last May before I started making these reds. Even if they come about halfway down here, right, so about right there where that number is.
152.
That 152, 145, 146. Around those numbers.
This is 146.
All right, 145, 146. That's risky, but around those numbers, I'm still confident because I want to see the exact next candle that's going to be made. Right, I don't want to be like, fuck, it's coming down. No, I want to see the exact next candle after this red one, and this is a monthly candle, bro. It's a monthly candle, G. It's gonna take a whole month to be made, bro. Right, so if that little candle finishes, that little month candle finishes that red, that little small red, changes nothing in my book. That changes nothing. That makes me even want to do more. I'm like, oh, we finally got a little back, guys. Let's go. We found the bottom. That's the reason why everybody want pullbacks in the market. We want to try to figure out if we found the bottom yet. Oh, that's the bottom for this stock. then you feel more comfortable. But right now, we don't really know what the bottom is for a lot of these stocks. So it's like, bro, keep on letting it fall. Whenever it fall, hit the bottom, well, you feel me? Like, and that's why we try to use resistance and all those different things to try to figure out, okay, what can it go over? Okay, that's good. That's good. Where's some safety zones in this situation? Oh, snap right there. Cool.
Yeah, that's the most annoying part. Because in the midst of trying to find the bottom, there's people trying to get to the bottom as well. So there's sell-offs and, just a whole bunch of unstable things going on that you can't really control when you try to check for the bottom. But yeah, that's definitely what's going on. The whole interest rate aspect is them evaluating all of these stocks and making sure like all liquidity and things of that nature are out of it so they can get like a hard, what sand is at the bottom that's just, going to stay there forever type of thing.
Like I said, a lot of stuff is harder because if there's a 2% return or 4% return on whatever stock, and there's a 2.7% interest, that's not really that attractive. When you can go get something risk free and just get 0.2 interest or 0.1, like you feel more comfortable. It's just 1% interest. It's just, you feel me? Because that's what the interest rate is doing right now. If you got to pay more for raw materials, you got such a fine room to make mistakes, right? So like when I say make mistakes, I'm talking about, say you Peloton or anybody and say, yo, I'm selling bikes, and you say, yo, I want to go $50, or like Dollar Tree, and you say, yo, I want to go up 25 cents. They're not really making raw material, but they still got to get things. Like, what if people say, yo, I'm not okay with that 25% hike? I mean, that 25-cent hike. I don't want to pay it. And that's what I'm saying with a lot of these things as far as with inflation. And that's why most people, they're trying to step back a little bit. They're trying to figure out what the market really, yeah, because you don't know what's gonna come through. Like I seen a picture earlier where somebody took a picture of had a little picture of Tesla and was showing all the parts and all the different things that went into it. This panel from this, that from there, and that from this, and it's like, So if you think about it, just to make one Tesla, you need so much different raw materials. Imagine all those different materials go up. They already had the problem with the semiconductors. Imagine semiconductor price go. Imagine, you know what I mean? Imagine all that shit just go up. They like, bro, I gotta hit you with another $20 on them, bro. It's like, damn, bro. And I'm buying a billion of them. That's damn near. You feel me? Like the extra $20 on something big, bro, is a lot of money. So then you start thinking about it.
These governmental efforts. It's like the government is trying to keep up, and that's the only way this is even possible. Because if you do it on your own, it's so much. It's what is it? Evergrande? That's what it is. Like that's what it becomes. There's no bailout. There's nothing. It's just you and your debt and loans and everything else. But yeah.
Hey, and that's a weird situation too, because like China cares about public opinion. So that may be just some shit they do in public. But like I said, China also want to set the stage for we're not helping people out. Saying this ain't what this country about, helping people out.
That's weird because like we get not helping people out, but like what about your infrastructure? Like like they have Ford and things of that nature, and it's because these companies are like they're a part of their infrastructure. They need these vehicles in police stations. They need these vehicles in schools. All these governmentally funded things need these vehicles. So it's like, well, no, you can't go out of business because we need you. Like, does China have those companies that exist?
You gotta think about it. If you start popping China, just take the company and make it a public service.
Are you serious?
What? Say if we was in China right now and like something like Amazon went to popping, China shut Amazon whole shit and make Amazon public service. Yeah, like China's a whole different place, brother. That's why everybody say, yo, if y'all want that type of bullshit, you need to go to China.
Oh, it's communist.
Bro, they take whatever they want to take. Yeah, they take whatever. Right now, bro, Jack Ma is going through it. The bro of Alibaba, he's going through it. Because he's one of these capitalist type guy. He's a guy that's been in America on a lot of these American media shows, and you see Jack Ma, you like, yo, Jack Ma, give it a different.
And like,
we ain't heard from him.
What are the negative effects or the cons of like a communist situation
You build a business, you and your family started some shit, and the government take it from you and say, "Yo, fuck that, bro. This public service. What you talking about, shit?"
And you're saying you would rather them be able to keep it in the family and just control it in their own right.
Yeah, somebody, because what it does now, it makes people not even really want to develop shit no more. It's like, I ain't gonna take it anyways. Fuck them. Right? I just feel like it just made people a lot more selfish instead of like somewhere like America where nigga know that it's rewards that come working that hard. You feel me? It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of benefits. So maybe he's looking at it like, yo, I'm straight with it. But in somewhere like China, bro, like you could literally go one of the biggest businesses and nigga like, yo, you know what? I like this. You just made this a public store, right? So you just got to think about that situation because I can get that. It's just on right there. Oh yeah, well, try to find your point. If you can find it, fine. I was gonna run down some charts really quick for. Yeah, you got that on the screen. I don't know if you're gonna make me big. Yeah, let me make sure articles.
Okay. Auto players.
Yes. Matter of fact, was you just doing some reading? I got a YouTube video. You can give you a small break and reading.
No, but the other thing, yeah, that's what I was saying. Okay, so we were talking about like the capitalist society and just it encourages creativity and innovation, whereas a communist society kind of stifles it, suppresses it because people kind of gain that understanding like, well, this is all for, government at the end of the day. But okay, it makes sense.
Look at me doing the nonsense in the time.
What?
No, I'm just doing nonsense inside the notebook.
Oh, probably.
Oh, you're not in the notebook? You got articles on somebody put
I'm
up?
copying a YouTube video right now, the 2021 Bestie.
Yeah, I'm saying what? That's what's in the notebook?
That's a YouTube, yeah.
Oh man, no, that's the none.
Okay, let me refresh.
Just click on the first one and let me run through that for the folks.
Oh?
Yeah. Let me run through that for the full price.
1 second. 1 second. Oh.
Because this is exact thing. Let's cut it. This is exactly what we were just talking about.
With the communists and capitalism?
Mm-mm.
What? We just talking about?
Right.
For parts and pieces.
Yeah, it says auto players raise prices to pass on high input cost to customers. An average increase of 0.9% will be implemented depending on the variant and model. The company stated in a press release. Homegrown auto major Tata Motors on Tuesday announced a price hike on its passenger vehicles (PVs) with effect from January 19, 2022, citing a steep rise in input costs. This is what we were just telling y'all just recently was all the input costs. An average increase of 0.9% will be implemented depending on the variant and model, the company stated in press release. While the company is absorbing a significant portion of the increased cost, the steep rise in overall input costs has compelled it to pass on some portion through this minimal price hike, the statement said. Tata Motors is an automobile company that hiked prices this month. Martin Suzuki or Martini or Maruti, India's largest automobile manufacturer, also announced on Saturday that it will be increasing the ex-showroom prices in Delhi across all models by 1.7% with effect from January 15, 2022, owing to increased input costs. What? It's crazy in this article, bro. Earlier, Honda cars had hiked its price by an average of Rs 65,000 per car across all models from January 3rd.
6,500.
Hey, thank you. January 3rd due to high raw material prices. On the two-wheeler front, no, I'm not reading about these girls.
On the two-wheeler front, 2 Hero Motor Corp announced in a regulatory filing on December 23rd that it had decided to
I'm saying I'm not reading it because I'm done with it. They were just going down my path of most traveled. Like, this is exactly what I was just explaining to y'all. A lot of raw material within things, like I said, especially Tesla. Any of these motherfuckers, right? They need raw materials. They need steel. You don't know what they need, right? So you got to also think about that when you think about like why stocks are falling. You might be like, yo, the interest rates, why the hell stocks falling? Because now the valuation gets cut in half. Say you pay $50 or something for some shit, or whatever the price is. Now you feel me? It's a weird balancing act. It's like one of them thin lines that you got to try to cross across. And if you can't really get across that thin line, you should.
Did you paste it?
You should.
You pasted Taco Tuesday.
Did I paste what?
Link for the video.
What link for what video?
You said that you're going to go to the video to give me some.
No, that's what I'm saying. I got you. I'm taking over right now. Wise.Art NFT marketplace to mint in February its first NFT to be generated from space using its Wise.Sat.space satellite successfully launched last week with SpaceX. Right, so SpaceX is very, very interesting interesting in the space. And like I always say, like with a brother Elon, he's always going to be interested in this. So if you see Elon, sometimes, bro, a company could be weird where you don't even understand you understand the valuation, you don't understand about the company. But like I said, it's just with like Bill Gates. I mean, not Bill Gates. It's cool. I mean, it's been cool, but Gates put him on the Microsoft deal. He was like, "Yo, bro, I got some shit coming out, bro. There, you're like, I don't really know about it." So Buffett wasn't an early adopter of that whole situation because he didn't know it. It was after his time, right? So you just got to kind of think about where you at. Like I always stress on this cast. What's the narrative, right? Are we able to keep the narrative consistent? And like narrative consistent with me across the board. Like I said, if anybody can't do anything, you take over. You don't never allow something to be ruined because somebody can't complete something, right? You have to be the pilot of your own fucking boat. I don't know why you pilot on the boat. You the captain on plane. You just gotta understand, bro. Life is different. Like Dwayne Wayne. And if they want, bitch, I want the same thing. 1 second, y'all. I want to.
Wait, I'm ready.
No, you good. You said off a little bit. Okay, these Wise.Art guys. Why am I bringing this up? Because, like I said, there's always narratives and there's things that I always want y'all to pay attention to. All right. Right now, what everybody wants you to pay attention to is they say tech is falling. Right. Some people even have things where they say, yo, rotate your stocks. Shout out to that shit because that makes a lot of sense to me. Right. You go from sector to sector so that you're never down all across the board. Yeah. Over here at Black Privilege, we got a different setup on the Black Wall Street bet system. Meaning, when I invest, I don't invest on news. I don't invest on what happened. I don't care about them saying that they rise in inflation rates. I give two flecks about any of that nonsense. Right? Either I'm trading heavy, meaning that I'm on a leverage site. Maybe I'm trading options. Maybe I'm doing futures contract. You don't know what I may be doing. But if I'm trading heavy. I'm trying to, you feel me? I'm trying to wiggle something into a little spot. It's like one of those real tight spots that you can't get some shit into, but you just keep on wiggling it in. And then that's what I'm trying to do right now when I'm trading like that. But I'm still investing. Meaning that if you see an opportunity, if you bought some shit, like if you believe in Square or if you believe in fuck that, you ain't got to believe in companies no more. I tell you, I've always been like that with things. Like I didn't really believe in the Lakers franchise. I don't remember going and paying attention to Genie Bus. Oh, how was Genie Bus running the franchise? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Is Cole Brown over there? All right, let me get that team. Let me get that team right there. That's all you got to do with stocks. It's all the same thing. Don't get too deep for yourself. Bro. How's the franchise being ran? I don't care. That has nothing to do with my narrative. But if that's your narrative, you can say, yo, I don't care about the players, bro. Right? I'm a Bill Belichick fan. I know the Patriots will get in the Super Bowl because I know Bill Belichick got the system and he could just input somebody else. You can roll that too, bro. And somebody else could be like, yo, I like Tom Brady. Tom Brady went to the Bucs. I'm with the Bucs. Like, bro, you done switched up. No. I never was over there. I was always with Tom Brady. So I'm telling you that same thing applies with stocks. When you're an investor, it's the narrative, bro. Unless narrative change, don't change anything. If you're trading, though, don't listen to nothing and change everything. What do I mean? Not actually change nothing as far as the setup. But when I say change everything, I mean like you say, yo, I don't believe in selling Bitcoin. When you're trading, you might just sell Bitcoin all day, right? Or you say something like, yo, I don't believe in just getting in a plane trying to get out real quick. When you trade, you change that mindset. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you change everything, not the actual way that you trade. but the psychology of trading. I be trying to tell everybody that most things ain't even about what you do. Most people don't fuck up because they make bad decisions. Yes, they do. But the reason why they made the bad decision is the way they think. Right? Everybody got a problem, and it's their psychology. If your psychology isn't right, you're just not right. Motherfuckers, I'm telling you, like traders figured this out. They like, yo, if I'm such and such, I have a such and such percentage of winning. I know that if I use this setup, if this blah 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 blah, I got a this and that percentage of winning. I know if I let it run and I wait for a pullback, I got a this percentage of winning. Like once you really get into the system, you literally have everything written out almost. Not on no weird paper shit where it's locked in. Some people do that. Some people do that for sure. I don't want to knock them. But there's different ways of doing everything. Like I say, the brother Warren Buffett, he just reads shit every day. He just read shit. He reads, hey, what's going on in China? What's going on over here in Russia? What's going on over here? He's continuously reading things and refining his situation. There may be somebody just like, yo, on some real world application. People do that. There may be some people on like, yo, you know, if I brought that real application, I'm just strictly on this computer generated application. Right? Everybody got a different way of analyzing the data, or some people don't even use the data. They use, and that's weird because I always talk about using people's emotional intelligence against them, but they use it too in a weird way where they don't use the charts. Like I told you, I'm starting to look at it because, and these are older studies. This was probably from the 1990s, so these studies not really valid to me, really. Well, not 1990, but you know, real old, 2000, 2010 at the latest. But the folks that was actually creating the charts that motherfuckers went and traded on, like the technical analysis guys, people looking at charts, the folks that created the charts, they had a subscription program. And they said based on some study they did or some type of whatever, they said less than 25% of the people actually subscribe to the charts that they subscribe to. I'm just telling you, bro, this shit is a losing game. So even if you're using people EQ against them, they may not even be using it. They may not even have no EQ. It's like playing a bad basketball player. He's standing in the same spot, you hitting them with crossovers, and he's not moving from the spot, and you just like, yo, I could just really just dribble around him. Like, I don't have to keep on using my same setup. And that's why I was saying the setup changes, not the way you actually doing it. So the same way you'll go past anybody, you'll go past him. But you just don't put the second level in it where you're trying to shake him off. No, you just understand that he don't know how to move laterally. You just go by him. You understand that some people are real good at lateral movement, but they don't know how to move forward and backwards. I'm telling you, it's just what it is, bro. Some people, they may be good at all ways, but they just not smart. So you just punk fake them. They jump every time. Some people, you got to call a pick because you don't want them on you. You just got to understand the situation, but you never change the way you actually play. So the way you do the layups, the way you count your steps. Maybe you're a nigga that counts your steps, right? The way your step back jump shot. You feel me? You don't ever want to change the actual setup, but you change the situations that the setups are put in, because the setups are going to always work. It's supposed to always work. If it's an actual good setup, right? They always say that even within sport, like I said, I always talk about sport with this shit. Even within sport, it be some motherfuckers that say, yo, they playing like that. We matching their energy. We matching their energy. Meaning that whatever they doing, we trying to stop it. It's some other folks that's like, yo, they doing that, we doing this. Let's see who got the best that. That's how some people rock out. Like, oh, that what they doing? That what we doing? Let's see, let's see who gonna do what. Like, nigga, you think you can shoot threes all day? We think we can post up all day. We're not changing and trying to stop threes. We're not gonna try to outshoot you this game. You feel me? Like, we didn't come in the game on that type of energy where it's like, yo, shoot threes. We gotta shoot threes this game. No. We're gonna post even harder. We're gonna post every second. Well, they're going small, fuck them. No, we're not going small with them. They're gonna have to switch back and go regular. No, we're not on that ball. I'm just telling you, it's different ways to play the system. If you can't beat them, they say join them. Right? If you can't beat them, join them. And that's what it is, meaning that Not meaning that you go on a team. It mean that they playing a big man. They got 4 big men on the court. I got 4 big men on the court. Fuck up. That's how I'm looking at it. I can't beat them. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it's like, okay, boom, now it's the even matchup. Now we can get back to playing that advantage that we have. Or you say, fuck it. I can beat them. I'm not going to join them. I'm staying small. Everybody big over there. I'm small. Cool. Let's see who wins. Right? So you just got to always think about that. Like, even with the Golden State Warriors, after that year that they lost, right, when Kyrie came back and they was like, so if he's here, okay, well, let's go get somebody else. Fuck it. Nah, it's no joining them. We're not trying to be like them. We're not trying to be like that. We need another scorer. We need another scorer. Fuck that shit. We just need to score more. They didn't say, our defense was weak. Kyrie was cooking Curry. Curry can't guard nobody on the ball, and they made it tough for him by forcing him to defend and motherfucking having to score. Right? You feel me? They didn't even worry about it. They said, cool, I can't guard. I'm gonna wet your ass up now. Right? So we gonna get more offense. I'm just saying, some people can't beat them, so they join them. Meaning that they come back the next year and they'll switch it up. They'll say, we need an actual big now. They went in the complete opposite direction, They said, if we can get another shooter, that's the big man, he can play the 4. He can play the 4. We've been trying to look for a tall 4 that can shoot 3. And now we can have Draymond in the game at 3. Them boys are playing the craziest lineup you ever seen some people play, bro. And that's because, we don't beat them if we join them, because that's their game. That's how they get over on people. That's not how we get over on people, bro. We got a whole different finagler on this situation. So, just wanted to bring that up. I'm going to bring that up as far as when you're looking at the narrative. Make sure you understand that either you beat them or you join them. You don't complain. You don't sit back, blah, 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 blah. Everybody talking about the NFT space. So, blah, let me read this little article really, really fast. Wise.Sat satellites launched last week are working correctly and communicating via Volt IS encrypted communication despite working in extremely low temperature conditions. During the phase, which will take 2 to 4 weeks, Zaytigee will activate the NFT execute in mid-February the launch of a prestigious NFT. The NFT launch from space will be using the Zaytigee patent application for persistent and authenticatable NFTs. Zaytigee IoT has an installed base of over 1.6 billion microchips in virtually all IoT sectors: connected cars, smart cities, drones, agriculture sensors, anti-counterfeiting, smart lighting, computers, mobile phones, crypto tokens, etc. Furthermore, Zaytigee has filed a patent application for a system and method for providing persistent, authenticatable NFT in the U.S. NFTs use this to have increased long-term value, can help secure. This is also what I tell y'all about something like VET. VET is also using the same type authentication type of process with these NFTs where they, this is your Vax card, whatever the situation may be. Blah, blah, bling, blim, blah, blahs. Zaytigee. Zaytigee has filed a patent from controlling massive data generated by digital networks. Zaytigee International Holding Ltd, a leading global cybersecurity, IoT, and AI company, announced that it has filed a patent application that ensures the provenance, authenticity, persistent, and long-term value of NFTs that are minted on blockchains using this method. During the minting process, this method allows to ensure that the NFT is not corrupted, incomplete, or ambiguous. Right, the Wise.Sat constellation is already enabling the direct connection of satellites blah blah blah. And it was something else that I wanted to bring up about them. But these guys right here, they are doing something right now with SpaceX. So like I said, SpaceX always gets more and more interesting, which is why I was talking about Elon. Elon is so adept in the space that it's like I said, like the brother, I don't know, the brother just like to have fun. He just like to have fun. Like I said, I remember one day I was in a room with him and he was talking about memes all day. He came in there with his memes on. Came with his short shorts, or I like short shorts. I don't even know what he had, but brother, the brother like to enjoy himself, man. And you gotta like the, you feel me? It's always fly to see those type of billionaires around, right? When in this world, all this fake nonsense. There's a bunch of fakey wikis, right? So shout out to them. Shout out to you. I tell you, 2022, we're not helping nobody. Fix your own self. Don't even fix your backyard no more. Fuck your backyard. Backyard can't help you do nothing. Fix yourself, bro. Everybody work on self. This is a year of self. And I think that if everybody was their best selves, it'd be a great planet. But everybody is their worst selves. It's a terrible planet. Shout out to y'all, though.
Right? I have to make a decision about. I have to make a decision. Right? I have to make a decision about, is this something that I'm going to wade into or not? Is this something that I'm going to wade into? What I realized through my own life's journey is these are not my battles. And in many ways, I abdicated my responsibility to vote on that issue when I left. And instead, I stay here and I focus on the things that I can control here. I think that I do have a responsibility to fix the issues of the country that adopted me. And so that's where some of my framework comes from. Separately, I do want to give all three of us a shout out because I do think that there is an enormous human rights issue that I do think we did bring up, and in the last few weeks has become a real groundswell. And it started on the year in recap pod where we talked about what's happened to our kids. And I just want to call out that in the last few weeks, the amount of press attention that this issue has gotten, which I do think is a human rights level issue, which is the cognitive impairment of our children, has really come front and center. And I think that it's really, really incredible, all the way to like even Nature now publishing these, and maybe the timing is just coincidental, but these big longitudinal studies that really show that, we have driven a level of retardation in our children. We have held them back from a level of learning and development that we now have thrown our arms up in the air. We don't know what the real long-term impact is. That, I think, is a human rights level issue. And domestically in the United States, I think we're in a position to fix it if we decide to take care of it. So, again, I don't mean to offend you when I say that in my prioritization list, it's below the line, but there are different human rights issues that I care about. And I think
don't let them folks trick you, bro. I'm telling you, nobody cares about nobody. Nobody cares. I don't think nobody. Look, if you want to help black women, you become a trans man. Become a woman. Fuck it. You go over there and do your thing and change it. I don't care. Once I became a man, I gave up my duties to help women. I have no duty to help women. Instead, I focus on what's in my own backyard. Focus on my own people. I'm not helping women. They gotta help themselves. Shout out to y'all though, but I'm gonna come back to this Chamath situation in a little bit because it's perfect. And I don't know why my YouTube video aren't fucking in my YouTube, but I just sent the YouTube video just now. Man, this is nonsense. It's crazy. This is satire. But I want you to go to the program that I sent you because she randomly played that smart clip. Right? Mm-hmm. She randomly played that clip. I'm gonna pair somebody.
Okay. I'm going.
But Chamath already made a statement right there that I feel like if anybody heard anything like narrative that bro on some weird, I need to see everybody face that said weird. I seen some guy, weird white guy. Nothing about racism. I just seen a white pasty guy. So I don't know if he cares about the black and brown people, as Chamath was speaking about. I don't even think he cared to even bring it up. That the brother had some thoughts on, like, yo, what's going on with the black and brown kids? Yo, what about our youths? So they're not going back to school? Damn. So what y'all teaching them? What y'all teaching that? So they're not about math and science and stuff that we doing? Okay. Yeah, we got a big problem here, and that's what I'm gonna focus on my time. Chamath said he has to see look right there. That's not even the video, but run.
New details and video tonight. Intense video of what appears to be the shootout between a man and a University of Chicago police officer. This video making its rounds on social media this evening. At one point, the man in the video eventually goes down, but then gets back up. You can see panicked drivers reversing as police swarm in. We sent this video to University Police. So far, no comment on it. Here's the aftermath of the shooting. It all started when the officers spotted the man with a gun near 53rd and Woodlawn, just blocks from campus. Police say the gunman shot first. The officer shot back, wounding the 22-year-old. The U of C officer was not hurt.
So this is the university. There's a lot of stuff that actually has been happening in this area. And I'm not even sure people really know about it, but so we see something like this. And like I said, I got the video, the fact that our John tab bit slow tonight, but I got tons of videos, bro. And I want to run through these Johns. Like I said, I need me enough. Man, keep on running through these Johns, man. We're gonna get this shit right, bro.
Donate to the cash out.
Yeah. Do whatever y'all may do, bro. Do your best impression of a good person.
So the 2020 bestie? For 2021?
Yeah, there's supposed to be a clip where the young lady is that the wrap-up show?
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be a clip from a CNBC or one of those different news Johns. But Chamath was talking about, he had the
where, in the playlist or?
No, in that video that you're on, girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it should be somewhere in that video that you're gonna see probably a clip of the CNBC or something. News station.
Like, is it a timestamp at the
No,
beginning?
I don't have timestamp for this because I was just looking for it on my phone.
I see something with a Kamala picture. No.
No, what's on there? Didn't I say anything? You don't even know.
Hold on.
Man, they showing me that, bro. You know what? I'm not going to depend on them.
Mm-mm.
Not the one thing.
Set 144.
Versus collect the art, play the game. Let me check them out. I'm gonna check these boys out here. I'm trying not to be making any sense.
Biggest Loser Politics? Is that the chapter that's in?
I don't know if you're listening to me.
You said CNBC club.
Yes, baby. That's all I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Jason, how much Fox is it even?
Craig saying, ladies and gentlemen.
For some reason, like I just imagined myself seeing it closer to the end, but I didn't see it at the end. I'm trying to figure out like where. So I figured you have enough to have a better scan through, but you can't find neither.
You see?
So they got chapters.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was trying to figure out.
Yeah, if I can see those chapters, I'll be able to tell which one it is.
Right here.
No, that doesn't even make sense. What about favorite media? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, sometimes they don't have all the chapters on the side for some odd reason, so many. But right here, same thing.
Fast forward. I don't even know if my John working is so glitchy.
Was after they talked about their book here.
Like for some reason, I just remember it heavy at the end of the show. I just can't find that clip.
And your turn was this one or not the most recent episode? Was it this episode?
It's a year-end wrap-up. So one was a year-end wrap-up. I'm pretty sure it did some. Content. I'm trying to figure out, was it in the predictions? That's on the other thing. All right.
For example, that's a good point. We still need CNN. There was a woman on CNN. Nick, please post the clip that we posted in the group chat, talking about the incidence of suicide rates and depression in our children and what happened when they were locked down for 2 years. Okay, and I am not going to stop talking about this because this is the issue of our times. These are
prediction.
Our kids.
Well, I want to get to underreported stories as well. Jan?
Oh, for me, I mean, my kids hear me rant about this every day, so I may as well tell you guys. It's the crushing impact that our COVID policies have had on young kids and children. By far, the least serious risk for serious illness. But I mean, even teenagers, a healthy teenager has a 1 in a million chance of getting and dying from COVID, which is way lower than, dying.
This time stamp?
It's at 40. It's at about 49 flat. And mind you, right now, everybody's at Joe Rogan neck on these same type topics. And I remember Joe Rogan had said something to a doctor the other day, and the brother was like, "Well, no, that's not actually true." Blah, blah, blah. And Joe Rogan was like, okay. I guess the dude pulled up an article, and Joe was like, "I see what you're saying, but that's not the article I read." So, right, the CNN, whoever was like, Joe Rogan was stomped. Or whatever, nigga, like just trying to make it, he made him look bad. Long story short, Joe Rogan got on his situation and sent out the article like, "Yo, this article I was talking about, brother, blah blah blah." And they was like, "Yo, blah blah blah, they're more at risk of getting myocarditis with the vaccine than they are at contracting it just like in COVID." So you feel me? He was just sending this article, like, bro, this article I'm talking about. So you got some studies, I got studies, right? And he trying to just kind of do some reframing of the way people probably seen it from the outside looking in. Cause like, yo, I'm not trying to hate him. Like he didn't stomp me, hurt him on my show. Like I fuck with bro. Like you feel me? People but people are against people because even with Chamath. Empress played a clip. He was like, "Yo, I'm focused on my local situations, bro. I'm focused on black and brown people that's getting incriminated and locked up. Look, bro, that was Kim Kardashian whole little wave, because so much of us getting locked up. You can just throw a rock in the ocean and free one of us, nigga. That ain't do nothing. Right, the basketball player Maya Moore is married to a brother that was locked up behind some nonsense. Fantasia is married to a brother that was locked up behind some nonsense. I don't even get where you would be like, yo, I agree with you, dude. But one thing I do with Chamath about 100%, nobody gives a flick about this. Why do I agree with it? Same thing when Kobe Bryant died. I love Kobe and blah, 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 blah. I googled it. The day Kobe passed, I googled it, and I seen it was the top searches. Y'all didn't know how to spell his name. Y'all didn't know how to spell the man's name. I can't remember for sure. They Brian, probably Brian, probably Brian. I don't know. I just know it was the wrongest shit. But right now, this same thing is happening with Chamath, so I screenshotted it this time. Like they got the right name come almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About five down is when the right name come. But you see that first name, Uyghurs? That's what people been typing in all day. They don't even know how to spell this shit. So I'm hoping none of our melanated people in here, because I know we don't know how to fucking goddamn spell it.
Uyghurs. That's one letter away from niggers.
Man.
Oh gosh. Wow, what a racist country.
You just take this.
Your search just snitched on you.
Literally, all you have to flip this upside down.
Bro.
It ain't even a word away.
Uyghurs.
It's a 180-degree turn away, nigga. You turn this bit too much as an N. So, all right. So, right, Chamath, and the thing is, like I said, the clip that Empress just played, man, you can just run. Where we at? Can we hear it?
disaggregated because of their dishonesty.
So does it matter?
Yeah, of course it still matters because they still have a lot of influence. They do.
And no offense to everybody on YouTube, but we haven't gotten yet to the economic viability where enough people on YouTube can cover the broad spectrum of things that are important, and then the mechanisms and incentives to amplify it. So, for example,
that's a good point.
We still need CNN. There was a woman on CNN. Nick, please post the clip that we posted in the group chat, talking about the incidence of suicide rates and depression in our children.
Super
and
powerful.
What happened when they were locked out of school for 2 years. Okay. And I am not going to stop talking about this because this is the issue of our times. These are our kids.
Well, I want to get to underreported stories as well. Jan?
For me, I mean, my kids hear me rant about this every day, so I may as well tell you guys. It's the crushing impact that our COVID policies have had on young kids and children. By far, the least serious risk of serious illness. But I mean, even teenagers, a healthy teenager has a 1 in a million chance of getting and dying from COVID, which is way lower than, dying in a car wreck on a road trip. But they have suffered and sacrificed the most, especially kids in underrepresented at-risk communities. And now we have the Surgeon General saying there's a mental health crisis among our kids. The risk of suicide attempts among girls now up 51% this year. Black kids, nearly twice as likely as white kids to die by suicide. I mean, school closures, lockdowns, cancellation of sports. You couldn't even go on a playground in the DC area without cops scurrying, shooing the kids off. Tremendous negative impact on kids. And it's been an afterthought. Yeah. It's hurt their dreams, their future, learning loss, risk of abuse, their mental health. And now with our knowledge, our vaccines, if our policies don't reflect a more measured and reasonable approach for our children, they will be paying for our generation's decisions the rest of their lives. And that, to me, is the greatest underreported story of the past year.
And I don't see it being talked about anywhere. We talked about it first. I posted that link about the decrease in IQ points. Yep. And then we started to talk about it there slowly. And now it's trickling into the mainstream media where they're forced to talk about it.
And who's impacted? It's not rich kids.
It's
not middle class kids.
It's all of our
kids.
kids.
That was a fantastic clip. That CNN clip was fantastic.
The poor kids are the ones who are the ones who get hit the hardest. They can't do supplemental.
It's
they don't
not
have
just that.
Option.
Don't minimize what this is. This is every child.
I agree,
it disproportionately
but who gets
affects,
hit? Yes.
The data was that it's disproportionately affecting minority kids.
Yes.
Okay. And that could be because of the sociology.
Right. So we already just built the stage. Chamath is almost sitting on like a castle chair right now. Right. So we're going to need somebody to come tear him down, I'm guessing. Right. So the brother just set a stage where, and him and JCAL, like, we are homeboys, but you could just see how there's a pushback with JCAL is like, well, it's poor kids. And he's like, no. There's that narrative around me. It's not poor kids. Yeah, I understand poor white kids going through. It's not poor kids, or it's disproportionately black and brown, brother. So it's a black and brown fighter. So you know how they hate them, bro. So they're gonna look to bring down. So on that same cast that they try to bring them down, the reason why I played this clip is because on that same cast he referenced this clip. He said, "Yo, on the last I spoke about this shit." And on this cast, we showed you how he spoke about it. Yo, nobody covering it. Yo, fuck that. Like, he wanted to fight everybody in the room. I ain't hear nobody talk about this shit ever. We were the first one to cover it. As far as to say, yo, the problem with YouTube, no disrespect nobody. There's mechanism and incentives. Mechanism mean that you don't have no wait for this shit to work. You don't have nothing. There's nobody doing nothing. It's nonsense. Right, and you don't have any incentives. There's nobody that's getting famous for talking about nothing right either. Right, so we come on here, we'll talk about some stock stuff, we'll try to get some advice, but that ain't what's popular right now. Right now, it's, yo, how much do you have in the back? Yo, you ain't got nothing falling out the ceiling? Man, you got to start bringing some people on the cast talking about nonsense, bro. So you don't believe in the crash. Like, you feel me? You gotta be talking about some topical shit for these motherfuckers. You gotta come in here and say, have Uyghur news. Oh, bro, the Uyghurs is dead. Oh, the Uyghurs. No, bro, nobody's on that type of time, bro. We just trying to let's have a real discussion, right? If somebody says nobody cares about the Uyghurs, and then look, and he also made it up. He made it super nuanced where he was like, yo, I got a line of shit that I'm worried about. That'd be right below my line, G.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that it's not important because they shouldn't be doing it, but it's right below my line. And the reason why is because I told y'all last episode that this whole 2022, I'm fighting for the youth backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we went and presented what he told you last episode. And I thought it was the year-end wrap-up, Empress, but it was the 2022 prediction.
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying, yo, I'm going into 2022 with this energy. That's all we've been seeing right there. He said, yo, I'm going into 2022 with this energy.
Right.
I've been seeing this story. I haven't heard nobody covered it. We spoke about it already. So literally in the cast that we played him speaking about it again, he said he spoke about it before. He said, bro, who was the first niggas to cover this? We covered it a couple months back. And now the prediction, I'm covering it again. Because I want people to know how important it is. I want people to know what the hell is going on. And matter of fact, I want to let people know who's the losers. Are you losing, bro, if we keep on letting this situation happen? That's why he's so adamant about fighting for America. And that's why he went as far as to explain that, yo, I'm from India. Like, you feel me? I'm not from America, bro. Like, I gave up my rights to fight for where I'm from when I left there, nigga. The minute I want to fight for where I'm from, I need to take my ass back. Meaning that you Americans, you want to fight for China, go over there and fight for those folks or those Uyghurs, the Muslims, because I don't know if they don't know if the Uyghurs are Chinese. They're just Muslims that's talking. I don't really even know. But you know that we don't have enough bandwidth. Why am I saying that? Because, bro, I just heard that people in Rikers Island are starving themselves. Right now, bro, there's motherfuckers that's on a 7-8 day, matter of fact, 9-day hunger strike. They're not eating nothing. It's so bad there, bro. I can show you where they got activists and all these people on the outside speaking like, yo, you gotta get them out. You gotta get them out. They're dying, bro. Khalif Browder. I can't even bear. Jay-Z wanted to make a documentary on the brother. The brother got murdered in there. Or, you know, he got out, but he committed suicide. The young lady is talking about right now, bro. We don't know anything. We lost so much IQ points. The IQ-less. I'm just telling you, bro, we're playing a backwards game, and I don't know if we're gonna win it. I don't know if we're gonna actually win the forward game if we're playing backwards. But hey, to each his own. Risk it. But what you about to run for me, Empress? What you on right now?
5 steps you just said?
Okay. And it was something a little bit early in this one, but we ain't gonna stress it right now.
Okay.
International Human Rights Watch, The Guardian, The New York Times, you know, this is not up for question.
Why do you think you're so wound up about this and you're not wound up about what's going on in Somalia?
Oh, no.
Or you're not wound up about what's going on in Saudi Arabia? Or you're not wound up about what's going on in eastern Ukraine?
Hold on a second. There are human rights violations all over the world. I comment on them, and I have commented on them for decades since I worked at Amnesty International, which is where I started my career. I've been passionate about this since the age of 18 or 19.
Shout out to my brother JCAL. And like I said, you can see this narrative. Like I said, the prediction that man just played, you seen JCAL, which is his brother right here speaking, Jason, and Chamath get into it, where Chamath was explaining to him about our youths, and JCAL was like, yeah, not just black and brown though, it's poor. Mm-hmm. And he was like, no, black and brown. So right, they got this thing right now. So right now, JCAL is just making it clear, like, yo, bro, you know where I started my shit at, bro. So JCAL is standing on something, but what I want to let y'all know is we may or may not go back. But what I did was I skipped through. But he spoke about a little earlier where JCAL was explaining a lot of this stuff with the Uyghurs. He was like, so such and such amount of Uyghurs or whatever in such and such concentration camp. Now you got 10 times, if not 100 times that black people, black brown people that's in these worse situations. You feel me? In what you would consider less situation. So Chamath was trying to ask him, okay, well, if you got 1 million bad situations and you got 100 to 100,000 goddamn medium, like, just a little bit under bad. Well, what would you consider that? All right, just like just bad situations, but not horrible. Maybe what JCAL is saying is happening to the Uyghurs to him is horrible. But Chamath says, how can you quantify that when you got way more people going through? I guess you saying just bad, but it's way more of them. Like, how do you quantify the number when it's way more lives being wrecked than in this number over here? Like, how can you say, well, it's worse over here because they're being this and that and this and that? All of these people over here, they would love to go in these people's situation. It's like, yo, what if all these people over here would love going in that situation? Like, we don't know. So he's saying you really can't quantify it. So that's why right now you see Friedberg kind of asking JCAL, like, yo, how can you say that? Why are you not talking about Somalia or none of these other places? Because they're both trying to get to this ending, like, yo, bro, there's other shit going on.
That's the main question. It's like, all right, well, there's multiple countries that are facing these same human rights issues. Why the Uyghurs? Like, what is so important, like, about the Uyghurs to you guys versus Haiti or any of these other countries that are literally less than an hour plane ride away from you? Why are we going all the way over there? And it's like, okay, fine, you guys are virtue signaling. You guys want to set the standard of how you deal with people who treat people like this. But excuse me, did y'all miss the people in the Libya situation that had people in chattel slavery like conditions?
Man, literally, nigga.
Y'all skipped over Africa also. So y'all skipped Haiti and Jamaica and everything else. Y'all skipped Africa and everything else, and now you guys are all the way in Asia. Like, I don't get it. Like, why? Why is that one the most important one? What's the narrative? Explain the agenda to me, and maybe I can hop on board. But right now, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense.
And look, I'm still concerned about the Middle Eastern narrative, right? What's going on over there? And
with the Saudi Arabia,
man, right? And I heard the situation where he was explaining, like, yo, bro, we've been going over there for years backing warlords. Wasn't that us backing Bin Laden and one of these funny face guys? Right. What are you talking about? How can who are we as fucking Americans that enslaved a group of black people that don't even know where the hell they came from? Matter of fact, black people are arguing with black people. Matter of fact, we got a bigger problem in America than I've ever seen in the world. We got black people saying that they are descendants of slaves, and you are, I guess I don't know what the hell you are. You are descendants of free people. What the hell is wrong with these people? You telling me I don't know none of you American niggas are descendants of slaves, nigga, if we not descendants of slaves. But hey, to each his own. I'm just telling you, bro, we got a giant problem right here on our own soil, bro. We got black people literally at war with black people because none of us know where we came from. At least y'all can all sit down and be like, bro, we came from India, bro. We against India. Or we came from here, we against this. Yo, we came from Europe. You remember, everybody know where they came from. Black people are literally right here. They can say, yo, we came from America. This was Turtle Island. No, bro, it was in Africa. Well, Africa, no, it was in Africa. It was no Africa. Bro, what is wrong, bro? I'm telling you, bro. Chamath, bro. These people, they can't trick you. You feel me? Let them get emotional. Let them do whatever they want to do. Like I said, you already stated your claim. Like I said, Empress played the snippet where you said, yo, I do care about human rights, just local human rights. I forfeited my rights to even take part in my own country's human rights activism. Because I'm over here, nigga. This is my activism right here, bro. I'm sorry to say it, bro. I'm sorry to say it, dude. This is where I'm at. Like, I cannot be worrying about people in India. Like I don't even get how that went over their head where they was like, yo, this nigga don't care about nobody. No, he's not American. It's not. Like, you can't use that same narrative against people like that. And that's why black people walk around and say, yo, we can't be racist. Because the narrative that y'all try to use, it doesn't really hold weight. It's like, bro, you know I'm not from here. I'm just saying that I think that we should worry about the people that's here, nigga. Because I got here, I knew that there was a better world, and I tried to get here instead of you fucking up this world also.
But with that being said,
go in.
I have a question to Chamath. It's like, all right, we are looking at the mental health issues. Like, what is your solution? Is it this redundant therapy that, you know, these people go through and don't get any real, like, sufficient advice or, you know, solutions to solve the problems? They just kind of end up in the cycle of like doubt, I guess, of like, well, I'm whatever diagnosis they gave me and this is just what it is. Like, what is his solution to the mental health situation? Because just thinking about it, it's like the more they talk about it, the more children and just people in general, you know, participate in it. So it's like, should we be talking about suicide? Should we be talking about LGBTQ? Should we address any of these things or bring them to the light if it's just going to advocate for more of it?
I don't know. I think the only thing that advocate for more of it is
not doing anything.
Yeah, it's like everything that we done that we did or have done when we was a child was from lack of information. I don't think nobody did something knowing that something terrible will come. Maybe they heard stories of terrible things that come, but we always talk about a victim of success. So maybe they did something bad one time and nothing bad came. Say, what, man? They don't know what they talking about. They old. It's probably the old days that used to happen. So I just think that's what it is, Empress. But we have to have the continuations of what worked, meaning that we got to tell motherfuckers about shit. But I think that you're right, because they explain things like this, that HIV rates and a lot of those different sexual johns and babies out of this and da. All of that came after we introduced sexual education into the schools. So you're 100% right? Why put it on someone's mind when it's not there? That makes sense. But when you was asking as far as Chamath, we got to keep it in context that he's talking about just simply we need to get back to our American values. Even though people say they hate America, blah, 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 that's all fine and dandy. We don't need to be in school teaching people about, yo, white people did this to you and da. Because the same way you telling me that teaching us about sex education just made us want to have sex, what would that make us do? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I never knew that. And it never been a time that I was around a white boy like, yo, he owned me.
The critical race theory is like a replacement of that supplemental book that I think everyone should read, the ISIS Papers. Because that is the only critical theorem that we need to be assessing and wondering, why do they do this? Like, why is this the way it is? Like, because when you look at it, it's like, and then you continue to see the same pattern reoccurring. You're like, all right, wait a minute, what's going on here, bro? This is out of hand. Like, it's too many correlations to just, you know, be like, oh, this is a coincidence.
And you gotta think about it, bro. She came from a lineage of real life doctors. You gotta think about it. Like in our era, she was old. So her dad was old and her granddad was old. And all three of them came down that lineage and they was all doctors. So think about that shit. They was her granddad for sure was a doctor doing some type of slavery or some type of weird ass time. Her dad had to be some type of doctor doing some type of weird black. You feel me?
Yeah, so that's the only thing that would make sense to me, is them just trying to control a narrative of their sneakiness. That's the only thing that would make sense right now, because everything else is like, why? Why are you introducing it right now? Like, what is your narrative and agenda? Like, I need answers to these questions. Why is your rhetoric the way it is? What is this rhetoric about? What are you appealing to? I need answers to these things, because we can't just let them go by just saying stuff anymore. Like, I want to care about the Uyghurs, but like, now that I see JCAL caring about the Uyghurs, it's like, hold on, wait a minute. What's going on? It's like I have to question everything now.
No, but you don't even have to question like that, because, like I said, that can garner pushbacks at all time. But simply put, yo, why don't you know about our kids losing so much IQ points? Right, this isn't important to you. So that's showing you right there in a plain fucking view. Like, this is an example that we could use. Yo, you don't even know about our kids losing IQ points. You don't even know about who's affected by this situation, but you know about the Uyghurs. I don't know about the Uyghurs. So that just shows you don't have enough bandwidth to think about all this shit, bro. Because if you did, you would know about the Uyghurs, you would know about these niggas, you would know about goddamn Libya. You would be telling me about everything in the world, bro. You would almost be crazy. You would be just rambling on, and none of us know everything, bro. So, yo, whatever your fights is, you have them. Right, so Chamath tried to make it be clear, like, yo, it's not that I'm against human rights. I fought with human rights.
But there's plenty of sectors
that
need help getting their rights. So
right in my backyard. Yeah. And he, like I said, he tried to stress the point. It's just like when black man say, yo, my mama is black. He tried to stress the point. And, it's not a joke. And like I said, we do that because we think that we're making a point. Like, yo, I don't hate black people, bro. Like, my mom black. But that's what he was trying to do. Like, bro, I'm not from this country, G. And I don't try to help Indians in that sense that I'm over there like, yo, they over there, they got the worst class system.
They're treating the women so bad. Like, no.
I can't do nothing for them people, bro.
I'm over here.
I literally fled it. I was scared of it. I ran from it.
Plus miles away.
Come on, bro. Leave me alone. So, right. It's an interesting conversation that we feel like we should hold somebody's feet to the fire, and we don't know about all the problems, right? I don't hear nobody going to Haiti like, yo, you know what? Bill Clinton really fucked you folks over, sitting all that goddamn rights and destabilized them for this whole time. They can't get back right, man. Fuck France. France took some money from these folks that them folks and beat them. Like you feel me? There's real problems.
Like, just to ask them a question, it's like, all right, so like, with the Uyghurs, like, are you saying, like, because you said that you can't, I guess, quantify their problem and severity versus, the next human rights issue in another country in place. But it's like with the freaking, I lost my whole thought, bro. But with the people, I'm just really trying to figure out, like, are they saying like, oh, they put this on themselves, like the people in Rikers, the children with the mental health issues, like all these things, are they saying like they could have avoided these things and like the Uyghurs couldn't have? Like, what is it that makes that problem so more massive and just, no, this needs to be talked about versus, other domestic issues? Like, where are your domestic issues at? Like, he has no domestic issues. Issues are globally. So it's like, okay, well, his narrative is some type of global capitalist or something of that nature, because it's like it doesn't make any sense for you to be so far out unless you have money invested somewhere.
And like I said, to say global is weird because, like I said, I remember, nigga, the first day that the Boko Haram happened, I knew about it. Even when American media wasn't speaking about it, because based on me studying a lot of stuff and based on me being a part of something like fucking with the Ethiopian Federation or anything like that, the people that I'm listening to, this is what they care about. So, but before America talking about, before anybody talking about, they're like, yo, 300 of our girls were stolen. I'm like, what, nigga? I've never heard that. You tripping? Nobody's taking no girls. I've never heard American media cover it. There's never been a major story about blah, blah, blah. I remember when they finally came on the news and they spoke about it a little bit. And then I heard from some man right activist, not a man, but a woman, but she's a man right activist. And she's explaining that, before that, they did the same thing to our boys and they killed them all. Like, matter of fact, do you know within that same situation that they took the 300 girls, they killed all the boys? And I was like, what? Like, you gotta think about it, bro. We don't know about these problems, and that's what these people are trying to get to with JCAL. Like, bro, first of all, if I go to Saudi Arabia right now and I think somebody's doing something wrong, and I take bro the fuck out, who do I put in?
That part.
I want to be the Billy Badass. I want to take people out. Who do I put in? Obviously, we don't know who to put in because we did a situation in Libya, and them boys literally into turmoil. When I say turmoil, I'm talking about that people went back to slavery. They showed us slavery happening. People was being sold in Libya.
Do you see JCAL?
Hold on, guys. Hold on 1 second. Let me explain. I don't know about Libya. I may not know about Boko Haram.
Yeah, it's just like, who put you on these little high tail like chases? Like,
I may not know about Somalia.
Why not? Like, why is the Uyghurs the only one you know about?
But I know about the Uyghurs, and it has to be some other Europeans.
And you just have to come clean and be like, yeah, I was just hanging out with my buds, and we were just so passionate about it. I thought it'd be good for the cast. It's like, bro, you have Fox News covering this story now, bro, and having weird narrative set up for Chamath. Was simply trying to say, hey, there's domestic human rights issues that need to be taken care of, specifically with our future, our children.
Yeah, that's funny though. That's funny because that just shows you that this shit is all politics. I don't think we should ever take Fox News or any of these niggas here. None of these niggas should be
even the
serious.
article. Wait, are we reading the article?
Unless, like, I don't know. Unless you got some, yeah, no, definitely. Them articles that I sent you, we might jump into. I don't know if you want to run through one of them first, but like,
yo, they really like. They're really skipping over these major problems.
So unless you got like a Tucker Carlson or somebody that's really worth they motherfucking blood, we shouldn't support them. I seen a white dude named Tom Cotton. That motherfucker sound like a motherfucker that you out there picking something. So Tom, I'm against you. Why am I against you? Why am I against you? It's all fun and games, bro. But but I just seen you attack the brother Chamath, and I'm like, yo, you weird. And you because he literally brought up domestic problems in that situation. Just don't cover it.
Bro, the insults of him being a guest on the show and blah blah blah. It's like, what? You guys are so like just out of the loop. Just stop talking. Stop talking for now.
Yo, but that's how it is, though, right? And they hate him. You know why? Because he's good. He's good. His results are resulty. That nigga walking around with results all over his head, so like you really can't tell him anything.
Right.
In the sense that you can't tell him out like, you're a failed businessman.
That's the perks of having capital.
So they kept on trying to clown him, Empress, and say he's a minority owner of this and minority owner of Warriors. I don't care. I'm a shareholder. What are you talking about? All I need is 5% of a company. I don't need 50% of a company, bro. I'm getting hella bags right now. What are you talking about? So, like, if you're not in the business, it sounds funny. I remember when they tell me shit like that back in the day, like, yo, bro, Jay-Z only owned like 5% of the Nets. Like, it wasn't 5%. That's a lot of percentage. 5% to 10%, that's some straight percentage to get as an angel investor or even as a VC, in any situation. That's I can't not 5 to 10%. But back in the days, I was like, man, this not even Jay-Z team, bro. Jay-Z whack. That's what I was thinking back then. I'm just telling you.
Still confused
I'm telling you, bro. I thought Jay-Z was the wackest nigga. Cause I thought niggas was just owning 50% of these teams. I just tell you, that's a rarity, brother. It's a rarity.
All right, so did you want more of the clips or no?
Yeah, I got all those timestamps, but it seemed like you like run an article by me. You have brought up an article situation. And
okay, the Warriors investor?
Yeah, because, they might do some weird. Oh, these are Uyghurs I have. Man, we got to have a job with a bunch of black people, bro. Because look, they also brought up the point was that, they do it, you can't read no more. Yeah, none of them may do it sooner or later. Goddamn.
So should I just put it in and get another one?
Yeah, I don't know. If you can get another one, yeah. I'll get another one.
That's stupid, because I'm on a whole nother level.
Yeah, they always do this. I tell you, even when I log to it, I'm like, damn, I should have just. That's why sometimes you see this and you just a Google Trends drum by myself. Because I just decide not to open the.
Okay.
Yeah, they terrible. They miss it all the time. Yo, you read your one article for the day. Go on about your business and kill yourself. What? Yeah. Open the articles, but let me read some articles.
CNN, HuffPost, what are you thinking?
Yeah, anybody CNN, they supposed to be a global news, bro. I don't know, they got a lot of feelings no more, but CNN the best, bro, back in the day.
So Golden State Warriors distance themselves from team investor who said nobody cares about what's happening to the Uyghurs. Sorry, Uyghurs. Hold on one second. Let me get you guys on the screen. Okay. So yeah, this is by Morris, CNN. The Golden State Warriors have distanced themselves from comments made by Chamath
Palihapitiya,
a part owner who said that nobody cares about what's happening to the Uyghurs. Palihapitiya made the comment on the All In podcast on Sabbath after co-host Jason Calacanis brought up U.S. President Joe Biden's very strong stance on alleged human rights abuses faced by the Uyghur minority in China.
All right, let's just keep it in context, because this is the clip Empress started us off with, right? And when I say this is a clip, because Chamath referred to this where he was like, "Yo, Joe Biden came out strong, so you should be happy now, my brother." I'm focused. The man.
I have to make a decision, right? I have to make a decision about is this something that I'm going to wade into or not. What I've realized through my own life journey is these are not
universally condemned. But the question is, at the end of the day, universally condemned. Universally condemned, but the question is, at the end of the day, universally condemned. But the question is, at the end of the day, what's our alternative in Saudi Arabia? What's our alternative in Saudi Arabia? Who's our alternative there? We don't get to pick and choose who the leaders of these countries are.
I'm talking specifically about entrepreneurs, capital allocators. That doesn't mean we need to engage in business and building their chip stack.
If you want the sternly worded press release, you just got it from Biden. You just hopefully it satisfies, it quenches your thirst, it quenches your thirst. The only other solution,
if you want to know what I want, I want to see if you want to know what I want.
Right. So the narrative is there. And then you go listen to Fox, and he say, "This Democratic guy, he's been da 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 da." He said, "Yo, you got Biden if you want Biden to stand for you." So JCAL is a Democratic guy. Chamath is just a middle guy. He's just a middle guy. He's just like any other black person. No black people are fucking Democrats or Republicans, bro. We may choose to rock with a guy, but we don't have nothing to do with these folks, bro. These people got their own narrative. Maybe this is their land, right? So JCAL even threw a little shot. I mean, not JCAL, but Chamath threw a little shot at him. But, you know, it's a heated argument. It's all friendly. I love you, me and you, brothers. So it's nothing personal, which is why I hate when people on my side looks in. Right? If me and Empress would have covered this, it would have been like, yo, y'all watch the gas. Nigga, y'all just talking about the shit y'all see. Right? Y'all don't watch the gas. Y'all can cover him saying that, yo, I'm looking at only local problems right now. I don't have a problem with the Uyghurs. I think Uyghurs is a bad thing. He said that. He said that in the cast. Like, yo, I don't think it's straight. But, bro, I don't have the bandwidth. He went as far as saying, yo, I don't even know about a lot of this stuff. So that's why I leave it up to you guys. But I'm telling you, this weird game where it's like, yo, just attack him. Take him down. Look at him. He trying to... That's not... Right, none of it, well, to me, it's not fair. And if we really want to have actually honest dialogue, bro, we got to switch that shit up. We got to switch that shit up, because now what it does is it forces people to be fake. Like I always explain to Empress that a lot of people that you will hear saying God bless and prayed up and shit like this, they don't read no books. No, they don't know nothing about the Christ. They don't know what Yeshua said. They don't even think it's important to call them a real name. None of this stuff means nothing to these folks, bro. So that's what we do is what we do is when people come out and have weird questions, we discourage dialogue. So when somebody like I say, yo, do you have enough bandwidth to worry about what's going on Rikers Island? Do you know that there's a hunger strike going on? Because obviously they didn't know about that. Well, obviously they didn't know about it. And like I said, it was 3-on-1 because everybody was just on the side of just being thinkers, common sensors. And shout out to my brother JCAL, right? Because he held his ground. And like I said, it was just supposed to be a healthy dialogue. When this happens between friends, nothing is really wrong. I'm saying it's just when other people get in and they say, yo, look at these boys, blah, blah. Bro, him. Nah, we weren't really that type of party. Yeah, we weren't really about party. I made my point. He made his point. Right, we kind of got to understand it. Where it's like, yeah, what you said makes sense, but bro, I'm telling you, I am still not gonna worry about it. Nah, hell no. You know what I'm worrying about. I have to figure out how to get these black and brown peoples out of these jails. Call me Kim Kardashian for the next 6 months, G. Yeah. I'm not, no, bro. Hell no. Right, I may call you Hillary Clinton in Haiti. You may be a nigga that be talking about some problems and show up and not do nothing. I don't know. Brother. So yeah, we just gotta be very cautious, bro. Everybody make a stance, get stood on. I don't know if that's true. I never seen a nigga with a stand get stand on. Oh, look at me, I'm on my gold bar, but I'm actually getting blocked out by Chamath Palihapitiya right now. Nah, I'm ready. Do I turn myself a little bit?
Nobody cares what's happening. The Uyghurs, okay, you bring it up because did I start?
So you say every time you see that Uyghurs, it fuck you up.
Yes, you bring it up because you really care, and I think it's nice that you are. The rest of us don't care. Palihapitiya said when Calacanis reacted in surprise. I'm just telling you a very hard, ugly truth of all the things I care about. Yes, it is below my line. Co-host David said the average person would care when the topic is presented to them, but Palihapitiya continued, I care about the fact that our economy could turn on a dime if China invades Taiwan. I care about climate change. I care about immense crippling and decrepit healthcare infrastructure. That's what you'd say, right?
Decrepit.
Okay. But if you're asking me, do I care about a segment of a class of people in another country? Not until we can take care of ourselves will I prioritize them over us. The 45-year-old billionaire investor also said that the concept of sustaining human rights globally is a luxury belief. We don't do enough domestically to actually express that view in real tangible ways, he says. So until we actually clean up our own house, the idea that we can step outside of our borders about somebody else's human rights track record is deplorable. In a statement to CNN on Monday, the Warriors distanced themselves from Palihapitiya's comment. The limited investor who has no day-to-day operating functions with the Warriors, Mr. Palihapitiya does not speak on behalf of our franchise, and his views don't reflect those of our organization. The NBA did not respond to CNN's comment.
Okay, so CNN, okay, look. What is this?
I came across as lacking empathy. Palihapitiya is listed as an executive board member on the Warriors website. CNN has learned Palihapitiya owns 2% of the Warriors, following an outpouring, so 2%, man. Outpouring of criticism on social media. Palihapitiya addressed his comments on Twitter, posting a statement with the caption reading, in part, important issues deserve nuanced discussions. In re-listening to this week's podcast, I recognize that I came across as lacking empathy. I acknowledge that entirely. As a refugee, my family fled a country with its own set of human rights issues, so this is something that is very much a part of my lived experience. To be clear, my belief is that human rights matter, whether in China, the United States, or elsewhere. Full stop. Boston Celtics center Enes Kanter Freedom was one of the prominent critics of Palihapitiya's comments on the Uyghurs. Freedom recently changed his name from Enes Kanter. He told CNN his new last name comes from what his teammates have been calling him. In recent months, the 11-year NBA veteran has used social media and specially designed clothing during NBA games to bring awareness to and criticize China's treatment of Uyghur community, Muslim minority in the country's far west. The U.S. State Department estimates as many as 2 million Uyghurs and other ethnic and religious minorities have been detained in internment camps in China's Xinjiang region. Is it Xinjiang?
Mm-hmm.
Region since 2017. Former detainees allege they were subject to intense political indoctrination, forced labor, torture, and even sexual abuse. China has repeatedly denied accusations of human rights abuse in the country.
So, what about this, black people? They didn't give no fucks about you.
Mm-mm.
They wrote this article within your face and said a bunch of shit that meant nothing to you. They said that people are getting sexually abused in jail.
Mm-hmm.
But this whole time they made jokes about somebody in jail that called himself the booty warrior. Fuck America. And when I say fuck America, I'm talking about these little fake ass politicians. That's why I don't rock with Republicans really. Y'all conservative. I don't know the fuck y'all be conservative. Y'all ain't got no fucking values, bro. So shout out to y'all for making yourself look stupid. Shout out to you, CNN stupiders, for not even standing up for something, making yourself look stupider. And like I said, the brother Chamath, you know, everybody backpedal. They come down and everybody makes somebody say some stupid shit. The brother is still explaining though.
Same story.
It just doesn't change.
Same message.
It can't change. It wasn't nothing offensive. I'm sad that I'm so very charmed. I'm listening to it right now and I sound very aggressive. And I should have figured you motherfucking crybabies out that y'all don't like aggressive talking.
No, they don't care for them. You heard they cracked on what is that? One of their first episodes? I don't know, maybe not the first episode, but one of the first episodes we watched, they were cracking on the sweater carrying girl tripping out about the price of his sweater. So like they obviously don't care for this stuff, but it's like, okay, fine. If y'all want to drag some of the people that I'm rocking with and make them look bad, because that's what the headline has done time and time again. The Golden State Warriors has been tied to this for some odd reason. He's invested in multiple other things, but Golden State Warriors is the main one that was drawn out. Again, agendas here. There's narratives. Like these people, they don't stop. This shit is ridiculous.
And this is also a problem I have with people that come from other countries also too. And that's why Chamath is really important to me. Because what happened is when you come from other countries, bro, you start looking past what the people of the country is going through. I think you come over here and you start saying, yo, why my niggas over there ain't free? It's like, bro, you see those black people? Them niggas have never been free. What the fuck you talking about? We don't give a fuck about no Uyghurs, nigga. We don't care about your freedom ass, stupid ass last name. You can't check Bron, bro. You a white boy from another country. Shut the fuck up. If we want to check Bron, we check Bron about what the hell he doing. He don't want to speak on no fucking Uyghurs, bro. He needs to speak on what the hell going on with black people in this country. What are you talking about? We be confused when he be like, yo, like, no, Bron, that's not the black guy was talking about. No, it's him. I'm not doing it. Yeah, you know what I mean? We want to focus on the right people. We don't want to focus on the Uyghurs. Matter of fact, it'd be fly if he said fuck China altogether. But that don't mean nothing to us either, really. So it doesn't even benefit him to do that. It actually benefits him to say, I support everybody. I think he should be just like y'all. You see the same way y'all started this fucking country? Where y'all killed everybody and y'all did all that wild shit, and then y'all came back and apologized. I think that's who all, like, every black person that y'all see on the planet should be like y'all. Until the next 10 generations. Y'all shouldn't know no black people that spare y'all. Why do I say that? It sounds fucked up. Because I heard Tom Cotton, and he's against the brother Chamath. He said Chamath said stupid shit and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't hear none of y'all speak about what the brother spoke about. So, like, I think that's a very, very big problem. I think it's just an agenda. And then now I see the other stupid people, the CNN folks that's supposed to be, I guess, Democrat. I don't know what they is. I don't know what they is. But now they say, well, I guess it wasn't really opinionated. I don't know. Empress, what do you think about that CNN article? How did we just talking about just in there?
It wasn't as bad as the other one that we read, but yeah, this is CNN, so as expected, it's
but they're Democratic.
It's narrative.
These are Democrats.
Yeah,
the Republican that we just heard said Chamath was a Democratic argument. So like, why isn't he like? Where's the side taking them in? Like, is there any side taking them in besides us?
No, I think these people have just the narrative of Golden State, Uyghur, like it's just keywords to them. CNN, I don't see a narrative too much as far as like, oh, he's on that side, so we're done with him. Like, I don't see that thing. But with the article that we read earlier and with the video that we seen from Fox, like these people were like pushing him to a paradigm, like he belongs with them. And that's why he's problematic. Like, whereas CNN is like, well, this is what happened. Golden State, Golden State. It's like, what about Golden State? Golden State. It's just like they want to say things. They just brought in Kanter, who had nothing to do with anything. Yeah, I just think like this is like, bro, we don't have good ratings. Let's put in there and bring somebody in, bro.
But freedom In his freedom been on everybody's shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you, I knew he was confused the day that he checked LeBron for not pushing vaccine mandates on us. Meanwhile, checking him for not checking in on the China situation. Bro, Enes Kanter is a fucked up human, bro. Fuck you, Enes Kanter. I don't care about you, bro. There's nothing about you that make me say I care about you. I don't, you wild. Matter of fact, I shouldn't even be saying your name. Matter of fact, Empress, delete everything that I just said right now. Just take out whole. I don't want that guy's name in the cast. I don't want his name in the cast. I'm like Brown right now. LeBron said, I don't mention those type of clowns. I don't mention those clowns. Bro, you a clown, bro. Stay out of our politics, bro. What politics you fighting? Where you from? Go fight your own politics. Maybe you may know more about that shit, bro. But you obviously don't know nothing about us. You say, yo, LeBron need to force mandates on us? That's what you told LeBron to do. LeBron need to be more active about forcing the mandates. What are you talking about? You talking about this? No, you don't. You need to be more active about forcing the mandates on your people. Take your ass back. Take your ass back. I want to sound like I've been wanting to sound like a white man my whole life. Take your ass back to your land. You can't come to me and Chamath's land with that nonsense, bro. Me and Chamath, bro, you know how much fucking way we done paved in this country?
Celtics games being pulled by Chinese video streaming site Tencent and the government criticizing Kanter's comments.
I'm pulling y'all too. I'm pulling y'all too. I told Empress take your name out of my whole rant. I'm pulling y'all ass too. Jaylen Brown, get off that boy team. That boy gonna bring the whole black movement down. That boy terrible for the league. He terrible for black people. Get him out of there. Matter of fact, no, don't get him out of there. I don't like none of the weird shit. That you can't be quiet at nobody. Nobody could be silenced, bro. We don't silence people, melanated folks.
Bro, this guy is out of it.
Hold on, he's still saying more stuff?
When the NBA says we stand for justice, don't forget there are those who sell their soul for money and business, like Palihapitiya, the owner of the Warriors, who says nobody cares about what's happening to the Uyghurs. When genocide happens, it is people like this that let it happen. Shame.
Yo, Entis, we should be hitting you up and getting a bag from you, bro. Yo, we should message Entis right now. Matter of fact, damn, my phone is dead, but I need to put my phone on the charge. I need to message Enes Kanter and be like, yo, are you looking to donate to the Black Wall Street bets or the black privilege situation? Because you're doing a lot of stupid talking. I think you sound dumb, bro. Yes, Palihapitiya said he doesn't care about the Uyghurs, but he cares about blacks.
Like, they're saying this is...
Nah. Let me stress this, Empress, because I don't want you to miss this. I don't want nobody to miss this shit, bro. Melanated folks, make sure y'all understand what the brother said. Chamath said, I don't care about... Matter of fact, he didn't even say that. It falls below my line of things that I care about. All my line of things that I care about is the way that they've been treating black and brown man and woman in this country. It's all I care about, first and foremost, nigga. Then I'm seeing how they treating our youths. Our youths are losing IQ points. Top 2. And now maybe my line is too low. Maybe I need to make a bigger line space, but they're not within my line, nigga. They're under it. So when you tell me about it, I say, yo, that is fucked up. But I don't allocate no funds to it. I'm not even from fucking China. I'm not a Uyghur. I'm from India, Sri Lanka.
Yeah, that's a difference though. When people
about Sri Lankan problems
actually have power to change problems and how they speak versus people who don't have power.
Oh, they speak by people, powerless people. They speak by doing everything. they God, nigga. They omnipresent ass niggas.
It's like, hold on, JCAL. What are you telling us? We need to go invest in helping the Uyghurs out? It's like, bro, I just invested in 10 nonprofits over here in domestic U.S. Like, what are you saying? Now I got to go spread my money even thinner to... and like, what's going on? Like, oh, do you have footage? Like, huh? Like, does anybody have footage of these situations?
But you heard JCAL. There's de factos. There's people that was in the jail that got free that came over here and told the situation. I'm like, yo, if we just going on person by person accounts, it's no way nobody got no worse stories than black people. Bro, we had a black dude that was found wrapped up in a rug.
Babe, organs missing. The Uyghurs are right there, but we was just watching the Seaspiracy and we seen bros what help me signs on the boat. They were trying to get off the boats. Like, those weren't Uyghurs, and that's in that same region.
I don't even care about that region, though, Empress. Would you say
I'm just saying, like, why is JCAL still stuck on the Uyghurs? Like, it's other bros that are struggling to get out of slave-like conditions.
Yeah, I was that's what I really want you to say. But I still see your point. It's like, yo, there's other things going on in that same type of area.
What
if you really
is
want to care
this?
about that area.
Like, why is this one it, bro? This is like JCAL's like, bro, this is it. This is it. This is the one. It's like,
no, I think he brought up some other weird ones, but yeah, definitely a lot of people right now.
I seen they brought up the Snowden and
that's what
Julian.
That's what David Sachs did, because the brother said he was working with Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia had journalists killed. They kind of do that same situation in China too, but yeah, so he said we're rocking with that. So then David Sachs said, well, shit, if you get so much about journalists, why you don't get about Assange and Snowden? These are journalists, nigga. Why you not rocking with that? Matter of fact, I heard you on your goddamn social media saying these boys should be locked up.
He came out and dumped the information without vetting it. Like, what? Was the information wrong or right?
Hey, and I'm saying that same thing about even these journalists that we say was journalists that got whacked. Did they vet information? Did they have real information?
What about the Hillary with the Trump situation? Did anyone vet that information?
Right. The same thing with the Biden
they
situation.
They insisted that Cambridge Analytica, Trump, and Russia were in the same cahoots. Insisted. Everybody was like, okay. And then you come out freaking 4 years later after he done made out of office, 2 years out of office? Matter of fact, we lied. They had nothing to do with Cambridge, Russia, no. Trump administration have nothing to do with them.
But the whole thing, you got to think about it. That whole time there was a trial going on. There was people trying to get information. So it
just exposes people that are trying to, fight for no real cause. It's like, bro, what? Why are you fighting for that?
See, the last cast, when I was, it wasn't the prediction, but it was the wrap up where Freeberg was explaining that same thing. It was like, nigga, the losers are the niggas that came out was like, yo, I'm not getting vaccinated, blah, blah, blah. And they end up getting the vid, blah, blah, blah. And then also on the same hand, there was a nigga that was like, yo, I got vaccinated, no vid for me. And they end up getting the vid, right? So he was just speaking on authoritative. You on that bit speaking like you the most high. I can't get nothing.
Say that.
Nobody could. Oh, chill out, bro. Chill out, bro. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
He said.
Chill out.
He said it was God's plan. I don't know what Carl had told CJ, but CJ insisted that he was gonna do in-persons for the rest of his life. Back on the Zoom call, probably two breaths later. But yeah, it's just, who are you? You little speck. Man, but yeah, where are we going next?
There are scriptures like that. They say, man plan the most out loud. All right, so we basically finished that John. So yeah, we got a couple of them timestamps that I wanted to run through in that video.
Well, actually, hold on.
I don't know why they beating us down like this right now.
So when asked for their reaction to Palihapitiya's comments, Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson Zhao Lijian said at a briefing on Tuesday, I have not heard the relevant information you mentioned. However, what I can tell you is that Xing affairs are purely China's internal affairs, and we will never tolerate any external interference. JCAL. But yeah, that's it.
No, but it ain't really JCAL. Like I said, JCAL got his head beat in because they all friends. It was a nice discussion. Like you was able to see, like I said, if you're an honest person, if you care about melanated folks, I think you would care. Like I said, I seen the comment section, a lot of people saying, "Yo, JCAL, you got him wrong." I was like, bro, the man said that I do care about human rights. I just don't have the bandwidth to care about stuff outside of my own country. He even went as far as to say, yo, I'm not from this country, and the country that I'm from, I don't even help because I can't do anything immediate, bro. I can only continuously to help where I'm at, and hopefully we can build this shit up to be the superpower that now we can go around and catch everybody that wants to come here. That's how I got here, based on it being a great country. Like, I don't really need them go around countries ruining people's shit. And you know that's to be true based on what happened in Libya.
All right, I got one more little piece. All right, so in December, a London-based independent tribunal ruled that China committed genocide against the Uyghurs and other ethnic minorities in Xinjiang, accusing China's senior leadership, including President Xi Jinping, of primary responsibility for acts perpetrated against Muslim minority groups. In addition, a previous version of this story incorrectly stated the size of Palihapitiya, also known as Chamath, stake in the Warriors basketball team. So yeah, he currently has 100% stake in the Golden State Warriors. All right.
Golden State Warriors public? That's a private company.
You mean
we're going to have to?
I don't know if no basketball team really public, but I remember we had seen somebody that had something to do with something.
Yeah, I remember us looking up how like ways to kind of publicly trade them, but I'm not sure exactly. Let me see if I can find on this really quick. Yeah, New York Knicks, New York Rangers are publicly traded with the Madison Square Garden Sports Corporation. Tickers MSGS encompasses several sports holdings from principal owner Jim Dolan. These include NBA's New York Knicks and their G League affiliate Westchester Knicks, the NHL's New York Rangers, and AHL affiliate Hartford Wolfpack are all publicly traded under that. Atlanta Braves are traded under Liberty Media, ticker being LSXMA. Green Bay Packers are the only publicly owned franchise in the NFL, but the team is not publicly traded. The team is owned by Green Bay Packers Incorporated, a publicly held nonprofit corporation made of 361,000 stakeholders. Who else do we have on here? The Toronto Blue Jays are the only teams in the Major League Baseball under corporate ownership. The Blue Jays franchise itself isn't publicly traded. The team has been owned publicly by the publicly traded Rogers Communications since 2000. So yeah, oh man, this whole time, no screen time. But yeah, so if you guys can see, the Toronto Blue Jays, they're just publicly owned but not publicly traded. The Green Bay Packers are publicly owned, not publicly traded. Atlanta Braves are publicly owned and traded with Liberty Media. New York Knicks are publicly traded with Madison Square Garden Sports.
Okay, that's who it was. It was in Madison Square Garden Sports.
Yeah. Manchester United is also publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange since 2012 under the ticker MANU. Manu. All right. So yeah.
Oh, they rocking donuts. They rocking on their own merits. Shout out to them boys. They hating on the brother.
Did you want to run the 6-minute and the 45-minute one on this?
Well, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
to fight. This cannot be avoided.
If we want to make the January 6th stuff relevant, first of all, let me just say, I see that primarily as a media story. What happened. Obviously, it was a disgrace, an embarrassment, a black eye for the country. I'm not supporting or defending anyone. I tend to think these Oath Keepers, it was not like a super organized, concerted effort to take over the government. It's basically a bunch of loudmouths who engaged in a riot. Maybe there was more planning and preparation. Fine. The court case will bear it out. And if they can prove that it was what you said it was, great. Let them go to jail. I have no desire to defend them.
Mind you, this is David Sachs. Like I said, you would more so consider him a Republican, but all three of these guys were in agreement. The only person that was starkly disagreeing was the person that will be the most clearly identified Democrat. So I didn't get the narrative that was being pushed on Fox. But it just shows you, it's political at all times, bro. It's not about uncovering the truth, which is why I hate the system, which is why we have media like the Black privilege situation and we're doing the Black Wall Street desk, because we tired of this, bro. If we can at least come in here and give some truths, bro, that at least make a lot of this shit easier. If we got to come here every week in, week out, and fucking be sifting through stuff, it just takes too long, right? It slows our process down, but we need to have an actual media, nigga, that's almost filtered. Mm-hmm. We come through, you feel me? Everything is almost filtered through a process of what they used to say, gatekeepers. We need to get back to the gatekeeper sense, in a sense, bro.
That would be a skit.
Where we have a gatekeeper or you have a filter.
Yeah, you just have a filter of like all the things you would filter out of a news station, like no corniness, no LGBTQ members, no side bob agendas. Like, you just filter it out, and then you just end up with.
But I also think that in the grand scheme of things, this whole thing's been blown completely out of proportion. I mean, if you watch MSNBC, it's all January 6th all the time. And, if Democrats are going to focus on this issue for the next 10 months, and who Roger Stone was photographed on a sidewalk with, which was the big story the other day, this red wave in November is going to be an even bigger wave. I'm just telling you right now, because it's not what the average voter in the country cares about.
I think you're right about that.
I'll agree with that. I think, MSNBC is focused on this and Fox is focused on fake voter fraud. And we've been pretty clear here that none of us agree with either of the extremes of media coverage. I do think this is an issue worth resolving
what fake
quickly.
Voter fraud are you talking about? The guy who's obsessed right now with voter.
See, you see that? I'm just telling you, like, this is going to continue to happen with JCAL. Like I said, these are all friends, and the riff is usually between David and JCAL, because these are the two most opposite motherfuckers. Like I said, Chamath is just literally in the middle.
Moderate.
Yeah, he's just right there in the middle. The same thing even with Freeberg. Freeberg is more on the science side of the game, so it's like, yo, whatever the truth is, I'm rocking with it. I ain't really got no dog in the fight, but right now, JCAL just said, yo, the voter job, blah, blah, blah. So he's trying to say it's both sides. It's just like kind of like me with the argument where it's like when I be trying to tell women to get right, and they be like, well, man, that woman gotta get this shit together. Like, no, hell nah. Only women. Like, women doesn't know. It's that type of argument. So that's what right now is going on, where David Sachs like, yo, no, it's not about the voter fraud, nigga. That's real. So I'm just saying, like, so there's rift all across the board. Because there's somebody that's watching the media, and that's why I was saying this shit is too political that literally we're arguing points that should be, concrete. Like, it should be like, there's the facts right here, bro. Like,
common sense.
Yeah, I don't know if you just like that side because you like it, and that's cool, but the facts are right here, nigga. Like, somebody done the fact checking. It's right here. Me and the other day, me and Empress seen a fact checker get fact checked. So they didn't even actually fact check it. I'm just telling you, bro. This shit is wild now.
Voter fraud is Biden. He just gave a speech, a very intemperate speech, saying that if you don't support his new Voting Rights Acts, that you're on the side of Bull Connor and Jefferson Davis.
There was some political calculus there. He had to do that because he was also trying to basically bolster the ability to get this, filibuster thing passed in the Senate. So he basically had to play a relatively weak hand. And again, what happened again legislatively is that his own party said, no, enough. In this case, it was Kristen Sinema who basically said, no, none of this
right.
is
Well,
moving
Sinema
forward.
Manchin won't support amending the filibuster. So this thing was DOA. We said it was DOA. When the Build Back Better bill collapsed, we said they were going to try and pivot to voting rights to change the subject, even though it was DOA. But there is something that Biden could do or could have done that I think would be a bipartisan reform, which is to reform the Electoral Count Act. I mean, what happened in November, if you're concerned about Trump and, the subversion of the potential to subvert the election and the way he tried to influence Pence to stop the counting of the electors, if you're concerned about all of that, there is a fix for that, which is the Electoral Count Act of 1887. It's completely antiquated. Obviously, it's been around for over 100 years. There is bipartisan support for fixing that. The Wall Street Journal editorial page has come out for months.
Explain what that is to the audience.
Well, it's a law that governs how these electors in the Electoral College get counted up and certified, so that the election gets certified. So, and David Brooks had that piece that Chamath shared in the New York Times, which is the problem we have right now is not in the actual voting. It's in if you're worried about what happened in this past November, it's in the certification, not the voting. And what Brooks was writing about is there's a lot of social science saying that a lot of these rules that Democrats and Republicans are really focused on around the convenience of the election don't really influence the number of people who vote. People who want to vote. People who don't. We're getting hung up on the wrong thing, which is, these voter ID laws. What really matters is the certification of the Electoral College. And Biden could find, I think there's a number of Republicans who would support a clarification of that law and updating of it, so that what potentially could have happened in January, if Pence had gone along with this plan to basically reject the accounting of the electors. I mean, everyone understood that was just ceremonial, right? What
do you think of that plan? What did you think of Trump's plan?
I think that Trump had a right to air his grievances in court. But once the court threw out his claims and rejected them, and once the Supreme Court denied certiorari, it was over. It was over. The Supreme Court has the final word in our democracy about legal matters. And so, no, Pence never had the authority or the ability under the Electoral Count Act to reject the counting of the electors. That whole process is ceremonial. But the mere fact that this isn't even an issue suggests that we should fix it. We should go back and fix the Electoral Count Act of 1887. So, and look, Biden could have gotten 60 votes for that, I think that was very doable.
He can get votes for that. He can also get votes to stop the insider trading of members of Congress. He could get that done too.
So why isn't he focused? Why isn't he focused on things where he can actually get a bipartisan majority? His one big legislative success as president has been the infrastructure bill, where he got a bunch of Republican support,
which is a pretty big win. Yeah,
those are the types of issues he should be focused on. And instead, he's giving these speeches. Saying that anyone who disagrees with the progressive agenda on voting rights is basically George Wallace or Bull Connor.
Did you guys hear his speech the other day on CNBC about COVID? I mean, he was so incoherent. It was kind of scary. It feels like he's the cognitive decline is, I voted for the guy. Anything to get Trump out of office. I thought that was an existential risk. But man, he is cognitively declining quickly.
I mean, I think the craziest thing about COVID was this Rachel Walensky interview. I mean, why does it take 2 years into a pandemic to tell us what we kind of anecdotally knew? But if we had known up front or sooner, we would have completely... Rachel Walensky does an interview. She's the head of the CDC. And she said, well, it turns out that 75% of all the deaths because of COVID were people that suffered from at least four comorbidities. At least four, not three, not two, not one.
Chair. Yeah.
It wasn't all. I think it was a subset defined by, it might have been like vaccinated deaths or something like that. It was one study, but yes, that was basically the conclusion. Absolutely. Is significant comorbidities among people who died.
And so if we had known that, don't you think, I mean, Friedberg, you tell me, but wouldn't we have
take a blogger, Rafi Badawi?
Everybody did. I mean, that was universally condemned. But the question is, at the end of the day,
caned for writing.
And right there, what it was going in on was the COVID situation. So he was saying like a lot of this news, if we knew it prior, because what he just stated was that the people that was dying, overwhelming majority of them had on average, had four or more comorbidities. meaning that nigga was overweight, had some type of heart failure already, blah, 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 probably had diabetes here. Look, 4 comorbidities, bro. I don't know if you get that shit, but that's a lot of bad shit going.
Blood pressure, anemia,
man,
cholesterol, freaking low blood sugar levels, compromised immune system, diabetes.
Compromised immune system is definitely a comorbidity, but for sure, weight is one of the main ones.
Obesity. What else? That's it for the most part. Those top ones right there is majority.
Right, and there's probably billions more because if on average it's 4, what did you remember? What did everybody have? But maybe they could just put in a big category of compromised immunity.
Oh, that if they have any autoimmune disease,
anything they could say, yo, it's right, and they said so. The average had this is not unbelievable, but that's what Chamath was saying. Like, if we knew any of the information prior to going into it, wouldn't it change some things? Like, yo, maybe it's not the vaccine.
Yeah, that's what they kept trying to emphasize on. It's like, why are they not telling you the preventative measures to take, the supplements, the nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals? Why are they not telling us about them? Why is it just, this one-stop shop? Get this pop. Why? So yeah, we definitely were questioning that behind the scenes.
Making a lot of sense. All right, you can run that. What you got set up?
Is it ready?
Oh, so I say me.
Blog posts.
What's our alternative in Saudi Arabia? Who's our alternative there? We don't get to pick and choose who the leaders of these countries are.
I'm talking specifically about entrepreneurs, capital allocators. That doesn't mean we need to engage in business and building their chip stack.
If you want the sternly worded press release, you just got it from Biden. Hopefully it peaks, it satisfies, it quenches your thirst, because the only other solution.
I want to see us talking about it. Actually, if you want to know what I want to see the 3 of you speak up for human rights. That's what I.
All right, so this is a clip that we started off this show with. Freeberg gonna come in with a nice little. It's of a tag different way, the short arms.
And I want to believe that I want to improve my own backyard,
which I think is absolutely great, and I think you can add an end there, which is you should be talking about human rights in Hong Kong. I don't know what to believe exactly, because he released all those data dumps and he didn't do it properly like a journalist where he vetted the information. With Snowden, I'm more inclined to think that he was a good actor, and I think it's a very nuanced position. So if you want to try to paint me as like not knowing everything about every human rights violation in the world, every nuanced position of a leaker, that's correct. I don't know everything about everybody, but I'm going to
take that position. I don't know anything about any of these things, which is why I choose to focus on the things that I can control. And I want to believe that I want to improve my own backyard,
which I think is absolutely great. And I think.
And this is why I feel like JCAL at this very moment, maybe he was just caught up in the discussion, but this is very disingenuous, right? The brothers just ran you down on Snowden and Assange. You said, yo, if you want to say that I don't know everything about everybody, blah, blah, blah. Chamath immediately stepped up and said, yo, what, me? I don't know everything about everything. And then you said, yeah, but that's okay. But I think you should add one more thing still to it. It's like, no, I don't even know everything about what I thought I knew about. What are you talking about? I should add one more thing to it. I'm not adding nothing else to it, dude. I'm not adding nothing else to it. So now you make me look bad because I'm telling you I'm not adding nothing else to it. What do you add? Look at it. Just a small thing. Look, you remember these small fingers?
These are the moments.
Right here when everything was
think
going
you
down
can add an end there, which is you should be talking about human rights in Hong Kong, should be talking about in Saudi Arabia, and should be talking about in China. Okay, and not my problem is the problem right now.
Not my problem.
I believe that's part of the problem right now. You said it. You said it perfectly, Chamath. People don't care about human rights anymore. There's a large group of people, I agree with you, who do not care about human rights.
I think they care about the local version of human rights.
Fine, yeah. And I think you need to care about all of them and talk about all of them at the same time.
The international adventure.
What's wrong with this guy?
Meanwhile, he don't even know about the local ones. Why he's telling us to care about the local ones? He don't know about the local ones. So what happened was people said, yo, Chamath said it's not my problem. But immediately after that, when JCAL tried to paint him into a corner, like, because this usually happened into Kevin Samuels say the need to be right, insults, or whatever the situation is. That's what they did. Yo, Kevin Samuels was even explaining like you would tell somebody something and they'll word your shit's different. It's like, no, I said they're not cheating. I said that, blah, blah, blah. They're, man. He said, yeah, whatever, they cheating and you don't want to say. Like, they'll repeat the same stupid shit. So that's what just happened with JCAL. We're like, bro, what? Did I just say that to you? What are you talking about? This is look. David said like he about to laugh. Like, nobody, look.
Human rights the way he did.
I think they care about the local version of human rights.
Fine, yeah. And I think you need to care about all of them and talk about all of them at the same time.
The international adventurism around human rights, I don't support.
But it's like, you really, like, because he doesn't even hear himself because he's speaking for himself. He's saying, I think that you need to do whatever he wants himself to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's ultimately telling him that he needs to be on both sides and be a double-minded man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, bro, you're not even a double-minded man because you don't know nothing about what I know about. So get out of here.
That was a funny thing to me the whole time. He literally just admitted to, yo, I don't know everything about this nuances of the situation. Okay, well, the same thing as me. I don't know the nuance of the situation, so let me know. But I think that black and brown people are going through way worse things than Uyghurs. What are you talking about? Maybe I don't know the nuance.
He's terribly confused.
So what they did was they took Chamath and they took him way out of context and they said, yo, he ain't say nothing. He just said, no, but immediately after he said that and JCAL tried to paint him into a corner the same way y'all are doing, he cleared it up. He said, I do care about human rights, just locally. Like, you tell me that you could really get mad at somebody who says something like that? That is wild, bro. Fuck y'all. Y'all are wild, bro. I've never seen somebody come from Africa say, yo, you know the black people that y'all took? That's already, like, I never seen that shit, bro. Y'all can miss me with that shit, bro. Until I see an African country come to America and some fucking European asshole or whatever the hell, wherever we from, some cosmic brothers come down. Maybe y'all think y'all can, you feel me, Empress? I'm gonna need something to happen, bro, before y'all start telling me that other people care about other people's backyard. That's all I'm saying.
Until then, I'm gonna keep minding my business.
I'm telling you, bro. We should still.
No, nigga, I gotta eat, bro. And I'd rather eat without somebody harassing me, bro. So I try to do it the legal way, bro.
Empress, I literally told you, bro, when I first got into this movement, I was really against the system. And I watched some Black Panthers. The one thing that some of the members said, I wish I wasn't so public. Most of my family left me anyways. They wasn't here. I thought I was doing it for them.
Mm-hmm.
They turned against me like, yo, look at that motherfucker. Right? So that been showed me that is, I'm not now. No, hell no.
Your
I'm
family
not
is those right there, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing it on a daily.
Mm-hmm.
If not, they are on their own way, bro. It takes less than 24 hours for someone to be on a whole nother wavelength.
You feel me? You cannot get so caught up in trying to prove stuff to people that don't care. Right.
But this is what I like about this this show.
Mm-hmm.
They come with such different frequencies. Like, it's very interesting.
They're
to see
different
it all
business. I'm telling you, I love it.
pan out, but it's so professional. It's just like, it's inspiring. I like it.
Look, and they always make jokes. Like I said, the first episode I watched,
they're very personable.
It was so Illuminati based, but like I said, the last episode when they was explaining Chamath and Friedberg was clowning Sachs and JCAL. Like, bro, y'all almost killed the whole career.
Mm-hmm.
All this shit that we built, y'all both got into a big argument, big Democratic Republican argument. Right, but like it just showed like, bro, we're not on that, bro. Like, we are friends, bro. Like, yeah, we're gonna go through some turmoil, but we respect each other in everybody's own right. I don't have to be like, yo, you one of the most motherfucking ESG ass nigga. I don't know ESG, whatever the nonsense is that they care about.
Socially,
Good. Some nonsense. Shit. Probably government, I don't know, but yeah, you can run it.
in the least. And I do feel that a lot of this stuff is like the tip of the spear of people who then get morally absolute and say, we have to fix this. And the only solution is to invade these countries. And instead, I would just rather them, if they really care about it, let them stand up and do what they need to do. I think we need to fix our own backyard.
I mean, look, not to kind of bolster Chamath's point, but there is a blind eye turned to that which we don't want to believe, or that narrative which we don't want to sell. And then we point towards the narrative.
Right, and as being somebody melanated in America, you always hear that. Look, the narrative has always been something like, yo, they need these melanated people like second-class citizens. Every time they bring an outside group in, they put that outside group above that motherfucking other group and then cause that little fight. And then now people are saying, yo, it maybe not just be black and white. Maybe just be us against the government. Maybe they keep on putting us against each other. Mm-hmm. Right, that's how people are looking at it, but there's still people that don't get it. So when Freeberg came and he said, yo, I'm not trying to bolster Chamath's point. I'm not trying to be a nigga that shoot his shit off to the rocket, but you have to look at it and think about it, and what he's saying makes sense because of these reasons. He explains the reasons.
Which we don't want to believe, or that narrative which we don't want to sell, and then we point towards the narrative that we do. And we see this all the time, where the focal point of where should we be addressing human rights issues is where we have economic and geopolitical interest. No one seems to be solving the problem in Somalia. No one's getting on stage talking about the issues that people are facing in countries outside of where we have deep-rooted trade partnerships and serious economic interest. And so, you know, like, we can tell ourselves all day long that we need to be absolutists and absolutely take care of the world because we're the beacon for human rights. But the challenge is we end up being forced to choose where we want to spend our time and our resources. And our resources go to where those resources flow back to us. And that's often where we have a geopolitical and economic interest.
Now, Jason,
I'll say one more thing, like, just because it's important, JCAL, because you called us all out. I am an absolute human rightist in the sense that I believe every human on Earth should have a right to do whatever they want within their own sphere of influence, provided their sphere of influence does not intersect with the sphere of influence of others. End of story. And I don't see that happening anywhere on Earth. And this ends up being a trade-off. You always end up trading off your sphere of influence for that of the greater good or someone else, because power allocates and power aggregates to specific places, often to government, sometimes to organize societal decisions that we say we're going to trade off our individual rights and freedoms for that of the greater collective. And it is that judgment, and it is that gray area where all of these issues that we individually choose.
Right. And, you know, melanated people, I guess we'll say conspiracy and all these things, but a lot of these conspiracies been seeming to be true. But, right, do you have enough funds to allocate the things that won't bring you funds back? If we keep on saying that America is a corporation, it's a business, and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and blah, 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 how would it make sense? Like, is there room? I don't know. Maybe y'all can drop some science on me, like, yo, team, you tripping. Is there room for it to make no sense where it's like, yo, fuck it, I'm just going to be hemorrhaging money this whole time? Yo, call me diet money. I'm just lacking money this whole time. Yeah, I know I came in big money, but just call me diet. I'm telling you, business doesn't run that way. So when you hear Freeberg explain these things, or like, you got to kind of put that in the context, like, yeah, really and truly, why? Right? Say something is going on over there in Libya. Say something is going on over there in Haiti. How much money is it going to make me to attack the situation immediately? I always tell Empress that while trading. Right? Because we on Taco Tuesday, so it's still about currency, right? And I tell Empress while trading, like, sometimes some things will be falling, and it may seem like a good play. I may want to get in it. I may want to buy, but it's like, yo, is it going to make me money? Is this play looking to be reversed sooner than later, or am I going to sit in here basically the same amount of time that I could have made some plays over here and then made some money and then allocated the funds here? Right? So when you hear Freeberg say things like that, you got to put that in context, bro. That's what these boys are trying to stress. It's not that they're saying they don't care. They're saying they understand business. And when you understand business, you understand that you just can't be allocating funds everywhere, right? You can't come in and be like, yo, it's some big shit going over here, throw all the money over here. Because in every market, there's always like a lottery type of sense. Like I tell everybody that, like right now, I'm not so much into investing because I already got a lot of my investments. Right, I got some stuff marked up where I want to see pullbacks. There's certain numbers that I've been had the first time, and I feel like if I re-see those numbers again, I'm definitely buying. If I see lower than number, I'm buying. Right, because these numbers was from a year ago. So if I'm able to see those same numbers a year later, I will buy those based on looking at the charts, based on the narrative and things of that sorts. Right, so that's what I'm going into right now. You cannot get caught up on not understanding business. You come in, you say America is a corporation and all these things, like I mentioned before. You have to put that into a full picture. You got to paint the picture and you got to say, think about it. If they're a business, they got to make money, because if they don't make money, they don't stay afloat. They got debt they got to service, and they don't want to service the debt by borrowing money. Right, these are all simple business shits. But I tell you, we look at this as some weird, I don't know what we think. Like I'm telling you, really a lot of melanated folks, and that's why we're really speaking about this situation so hard. Because I don't want us to start listening to the narrative like, yo, you heard the Golden State Warriors? He said he don't even care about them people that's getting killed. And it's like,
how are they gonna turn it?
Yeah, he didn't really say that, bro. He was saying that it's below his line of things that he can care about. Meaning that, say you got $1 million. Like I even tell, like I said, back to trading. I tell Empress this when you're trading.
When you're trading, what you saying?
When you're trading, you got to understand that you want to allocate a lot of your funds to one place. You don't want to spread your funds out because you can't really create enough change. You can't really own enough percentage for anything to mean anything. Right? So you want to allocate your funds to one place so it actually means something. There's a greater return on it when you do that. So like, see right there, they're going to climb this 2%, but how much is his 2% worth? How much does he have allocated into that specific situation? Right? So that's how I always view the situation. But you was about to say something. Okay. You be bugging.
What you call him?
I don't know, but it don't really matter. It's nothing important.
Issues to address and spend our time on arise. And so I have, just to point out, like a very absolute point of view on this. But to me, the challenge is, how do you make a discernment? How do you make a determination that imprisonment of brown and black people in the United States versus the treatment of people by militia in Somalia versus the treatment of the Uyghurs in China versus, and you go on and on and on. It's a very difficult moral judgment.
Or you could just say they're all wrong.
They are all wrong.
They are all wrong,
and
but I don't care about the other two.
And we're going to talk,
see, but you work on all of them, you work on none of them.
And I would rather see innovation enable more people to have access to more free speech, to have more resources, to have more of an ability to climb and have the freedom to do the things they want to do with their life. I think that innovation and technology can bring all of these old school ways of thinking and behaving out of the media.
Whoa, what you saying, Empress?
Oh, I just was saying Freeberg was a moderator of the show. That was JCAL.
All right. You work on all of them, you work on none of them. Like I said, that's something that I've always said in my investment strategy. That's the way I look at life. Right? You a master at everything, you a master at nothing. Right? There's no way you're a master at everything, bro. Like I said, when I played basketball, there was other things that I was always good at. I always had some type of advantage in something else. When I played football, I remember when I played flag my first year, I played quarterback and wide receiver. I was the coldest quarterback, coldest wide receiver. I remember I got older, nigga. I was just strictly a wide receiver.
So
go ahead, Empress.
I'm just trying to understand this because, like, you're saying like JCAL's whole thing is like to be ESG, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that what the cancel culture has like kind of become? Like the bureau of investigations of the like, because that's what it seems like. It's like, if you don't align with what we say, bro, we're gonna judge you, bro. We're gonna criticize you, and we have the, what do you call those things that protest? The air horn or whatever.
The nigga.
Megaphone.
You remember back in the days, nigga, where the council culture only had pitchforks. They had the pitchfork and they used to come and they used to want to burn your shit down.
No tweets, no nothing.
You remember me? But at least you kept doing your shit. You just ran from them and shit. It's like a war with you and them. But now, like, you can't even do your shit no more, and they still gonna be at you. Think about bro been out of his job 3 years. He trying to go to another job. My boy.
Nah.
He said he's showing up to the interviews now, trying to be open with them, like he did, like he did. He bring the video in on his shirt.
And they say no.
Yeah, nah, that what you did, bro. You tripping? They double down on it. That don't make them see you in a better light. That's why a lot of time, bro, what you do is you get into places and you make them need you. And then they fuck around and look at your records and they say, damn, bro, we gotta let you go, but we can't. We're gonna move you up to a managerial position, bro. You're gonna move all the motherfucking red tape, bro. I don't know, right? Because with the brother Chamath, I heard him say he compares himself to a Warren Buffett and this and that. He brought things like SoFi and Clover Institute, and shout out to you, but Clover Institute some shit, bro. And I'm saying not as a company, but as some shit to trade. And you know, you gotta think about it, bro. I ain't know about investment either. I wasn't really a full investment when I had Clover. When I had Clover, I think I went on the fake Wall Street. I thought it was black Wall Street bets, but it wasn't. It was a fake Wall Street bets. And I learned a bunch of fake tactics. So I bought some nonsense and I lost. And I was like, I want to do a documentary on them boys, Empress. Because Empress, you never went through and seen it. You never knew how bad it was, Empress. It's just a bunch of people in there. They still probably doing it. It's a bunch of people. They come in there and they just say things. They say, yo, this right here going up. Grab you 3 bags of Wish. You see Wish? Grab you it. Ah, yeah, it's a good play. It's like, bro, you sure? Are you sure, bro? Did you look at the charts? So now I want to look at some charts for a little bit. But no, we're going to finish a little bit of this JCAL boys out. But
the evil ages and the dark ages. And so that's where I choose to spend my time. You know, how can we unleash people's freedom? We got to make things more available. We got to make things more accessible.
I would just want to make 2 points and then maybe we can move on this topic. Point number 1 is when you're an immigrant, part of what you're doing is you're actually voting against the place that you leave to embrace the place that you come to. And Jason, you know, of all the 4 of us on this pod, you're the only natural born American, right? You started here, you've lived your entire life here. And that's an incredible blessing that you were given. And the 3 of us weren't. And, you know, in my case, I had to go through an even more circuitous path. I didn't even come to the United States. First, I had to go through Canada. But implicitly, you know, when I look at the places that I left, and specifically, you know, when I look at Sri Lanka, who, you know, has a very checkered human rights record, in fact, terrible in some ways. And the way that they ended the war against the Tamils, atrocious. I have to make a decision, right? I have to make a decision about, is this something that I'm going to wade into or not? And what I've realized through my own life's journey is these are not my battles. And in many ways, I abdicated my responsibility to vote on that issue when I left. And instead, I stay here and I focus on the things that I can control here. And I think that I do have a responsibility to fix the issues of the country that adopted me. And so that's where some of my framework comes from. Separately, I do want to give all 3 of us a shout out because I do think that there is an enormous human rights issue that I do think we did bring up and in the last few weeks has become a real groundswell. And it started on the, year in recap pod where we talked about what's happened to our kids. And I just want to call out that in the last few weeks, the amount of press attention that this issue has gotten, which I do think is a human rights level issue, which is the cognitive impairment of our children, has really come front and center. And I think that it's really, really incredible, all the way to like even Nature now publishing these, and maybe the timing is just coincidental, but these big longitudinal studies that really show that, we have driven a level of retardation in our children. We have held them back from a level of learning and development that we now have thrown our arms up.
Like I said, bro, I don't want to play these guys' whole cast, bro. You know what? I'm just trying to just bring a little light to the situation because we're always on the inside with a lot of this shit. And I don't know if it's purposefully like that. If it's just the Most High says, right, keep doing the shit you're doing, see where it gets you. Maybe the Most High didn't say that. Maybe it was his brother. But somebody said it, you feel me? Right? And what they was explaining is, if you follow the right people, you're going to be ahead of the curve every time. Every time that they come around and they bring one of your bros on the screen, it'd have been damn near 3 years after they done been doing what they've been doing. You got such an insider on the inside that you like, what? No, dude, did you hear the whole cast? So what I'm doing, I'm just presenting Chamath's ideas. I don't want y'all to think that, I don't even want y'all to think that it was just Chamath. Right, there was a brother like David Sachs, right, and I guess the Republican wouldn't like that, but he didn't say that he don't care about the Uyghurs, so I guess they was able to blah blah blah. But he was on Chamath's side, right, because all three of these guys, they come from other countries, so they're looking at like, yo, I'm not over there, goddamn, for my country's battle. Not once did I put on my country's uniform, nigga, and go on the field and fight me my country battle. I've been putting on a USA uniform, bro. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So that's why I be telling y'all, bro. So like even ADOS members, I hope y'all listening to something like this. Like I said, it's a Taco Tuesday cast, bro. But it's psychology, bro. Currency work one ways, bro. It flows through a network. Without that network, bro, that current is pointless, bro. It's not even current. It's outdated. Right? So you just gotta listen to the brother Chamath, bro, and you just gotta make sure, bro, that we get our shit in order, bro. We start focusing on the like what the other day I posted it what it says I only pay attention to businesses that pay me. You gotta focus on the right thing, bro. We don't have enough bandwidth to just be like, yo, the Uyghurs don't too. It's like, yeah, that's wrong. But what you think about what's going on in Rikers Island? You heard that 8 of them boys right now is doing some crazy shit where they not even eat. I mean, not 8 of them boys. It's 8. I mean, it's 8 to 9 days now that a group of them guys in there, they're not eating. They're on a hunger strike. What? I never heard about that thing. Yo, did you hear that there was a lady at work and somebody just ran into the job and stabbed her up? Nah, I didn't hear about that. Yeah, bro. Did you hear that our youths are damn near retarded? Like, I don't even know if you be supposed to be saying that word. Why y'all ain't counseling for saying that? Y'all be making shit up when y'all want to make stuff up. Y'all not serious. Y'all not serious, people, bro. They're not serious, Empress. They're not serious, bro. They just want to get you
in the air. We don't know what the real long-term impact is. That, I think, is a human rights level issue. And domestically in the United States, I think we're in a position to fix it if we decide to take care of it. So, again, I don't mean to offend you when I say that in my prioritization list, it's below the line, but there are different human rights issues that I care about. And I think
to be clear, when you said I called everybody out.
Right. And I just really want to keep that in the context, bro, because I'm just trying to show y'all how the media spin things. Nothing is supposed to be kept into motherfucking nuances. There's no nuances no more with this internet nonsense. And that's why they say, yo, the internet always win, and it really don't. It don't. In reality, if everybody had the common sense and step back, like, that's a stupid ass joke, bro. Instant karma. No, it's not, bro. That shit was almost 10 years ago, bro. You just put those two clips together. You put those two clips together. That had nothing to do with nothing, bro. Yeah, he didn't even say that to that person, bro. That's a whole different situation. Right. We do these things, bro, and I don't know if we're wrong or right, bro, but I just hope that us over here at Black Wall Street Bets, Wise Magi Godcast, Black Privilege, all these different network situations that we got going on, I just hope we could bring the truth, right? When somebody come in and say, yo, this person racist, they don't care about no human rights. Well, that's not right. He said that, yo, I'm matter of fact, even on the show, Empress, he didn't even have to go off and show the he said on the show. He said on the show.
Yeah, at the conclusion.
Yeah, he's saying, yo, bro, I apologize if I offended you in any way, bro. But I'm just telling you, on my list of human rights that I care about.
Yeah, he was clear to say with that throughout the whole thing. You literally have to cut 30 seconds of him saying, I don't care about the Uyghurs, and not listening to anything else. But if you listen to the full thing, there's no bad actor here.
So now when you hear that the funny guy says, after this, it was all downhill. Well, go watch it. See how downhill it was. And like I said, take your judgment out of it, because you're going to continuously hear Uyghur. And maybe you may even have a judgment that, yo, black and brown people, they ain't shit. They ain't going through nothing. So maybe that may be a bias too that you got to look at, because you are an American. And I was telling Empress that, like, even though we Republicans and conservative, and we can say all these blah 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 bling 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 bling, bro, these people, bro, they Empress, they come off racist, bro. They come off racist off as not knowing the truth. Like I said with Chamath, they were just waiting to attack him. Conversation was deal with stuff where people was like, yo, bro, you know what you're talking about, you ain't on the Uyghurs, blah blah blah. You don't care about human rights. They only don't care about human rights. And it's like, but in the video, he said he cared about human rights. I don't get the narrative, bro. But man, Chamath, bro, if anybody could tell you something, just shout out to you. Matter of fact, bro, we need to hit Chamath up. Send Chamath the cast, but make sure you add Chamath in the cast, bro. Chamath gonna rock with the cast, bro. Who is Chamath, defense attorney? Chamath be scotch free. If the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit, right? So if a nigga want to say a nigga don't care about human rights, but that whole cast he kept saying, and he kept coming back to it like, yo, I know I'm saying it wrong, and I may be saying it aggressive, but shows in a row I've been telling y'all about damn near our youths being retarded, bro. 2 shows in a row I've been saying our youths are retarded. You think you're going to tell me about Uyghurs today? Hell no, bro. Not the whole 2022. You're not going to tell me about no Uyghurs. You better wait 6 months down the line and hope I get tired of thinking that our youth is retarded. You better hope our youths come back smarter than me. Right? You better hope they do Are You Smarter Than a 5th grader and I go in there and the 5th grader smack me. Because if not, bro.
Is it this one, bro?
You trying to find the bus telling the bro? See, you got to go to YouTube if you trying to play the clip. But it's Tom Cotton, though. But I don't know if Will Kane was on there. But I know it's a brother named Tom Cotton. Yes, it may be another bro. Will Kane. And you know, these guys are narrative based. They narrative based, but like, bro, I just hope y'all will do yourself the service of just going, that's him. That's him. No, the dude with the ugly face. Yeah. I agree with y'all, bro. If y'all want to go to Beijing and Libya, y'all want to do all that shit, y'all can do what the hell y'all feel like y'all may need to do, but just telling you, when somebody said they not focusing on that, and like I said, maybe you can say, yo, he killed by Black Lives Matter. Just more reason for melanated to rock with the brother there. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding of what the brother stands on. All right, well, now on to... I'm ready for you. I don't know about that.
All right, well, now on to the NBA co-owner accused of turning a blind eye to genocide. A co-owner of the Golden State Warriors taking heat for saying, quote, nobody cares about the Uyghurs. Senator Tom Cotton joins us now. Senator, it's good to see you. This is Chamath Palihapitiya. He is a billionaire, and he is a 10% owner in the Golden State Warriors. Just so that everybody at home knows what we're talking about, let's re-rack the tape and play it here.
Nobody cares about what's happening to the Uyghurs, okay? You bring it up because you really care, and I think that's nice that you care. The rest of us don't care. I'm just telling you a very hard. I'm telling you
personally don't care.
I'm telling you a very hard, ugly truth, okay? Of all the things that I care about, yes, it is below my line.
Of all the things that I care about, yes, it's below my line. Senator, what did you think of that statement?
Well, it's shocking moral indifference to communist genocide. It's not that surprising from this woke billionaire. You know, he likes to saddle up his high horse and ride it hard on things like climate change and green energy, because he knows that the Democrats, to whom he's given millions of dollars in campaign contributions, will reward him with billions in tax breaks and subsidies. So it's all about profit there. It's all about profit for him in China as well. He's not going to say anything that risks his access to Chinese markets or his access to Chinese funds. He's putting profits over principle. But, John, I also want to point out the Golden State Warriors and the NBA have been conspicuously silent here. Golden State simply put out a statement saying they disagreed with his opinion, without even stating what the opinion is. They're terrified of even mentioning the topic, much less taking a stance. But the NBA still has said nothing. The NBA is a league that took away the All-Star game from the state of North Carolina a few years back, because North Carolina's democratically elected representatives thought boys and girls should go to different bathrooms. The NBA.
See, that's more domestic issues. Can you tell me about the time that the NBA did something that was foreign, that was counter to this? Like, I don't really get that. It's a domestic issue, bro. So now, if you're telling me, if what you're trying to sell me is the NBA cares more about America than everywhere else, and they try to handle America's problem before they handle other people's problem, I'm okay with that as a person that stays in America, bro. You remember, I don't know if you clown the NBA right now, G. Right, but what they try to clown the NBA with is the NBA is sellout, and they're selling us out to China. But if you're using a counter argument to tell me about something that they handled here instead of handling some shit in China, I'm okay with that, bro. I don't really think that it's necessary for little girls and men to be in the same bathroom. I don't know the necessary aspect of that situation, brother. But okay, we got to wrap you up, bro. We got to wrap everything up, but we got to use you to wrap up.
The NBA in the past has made owners sell for expressing outrageous opinions. And unless Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, and the league want to be exposed as brazen hypocrites, they need to force this woke billionaire to sell as well.
You mentioned the Golden State Warriors in this statement. Let's put it up on the screen so the people at home can follow along. They basically disowned him in a way, saying Mr. Palihapitiya does not speak on behalf of our franchise, and his views certainly don't reflect those of our organization. But as you were suggesting, Senator, Palihapitiya really kind of said the quiet part out loud here, because it's pretty clear that the NBA doesn't care much about the Uyghurs. It's pretty clear that all of those American companies that are pouring billions into the Beijing Olympics don't care much about them either.
Yeah, all of these companies are focusing on access to the Chinese market and getting Chinese money, as opposed to focusing on principle, a genocide against China's own people. And that's saying nothing, John, about what they've done to Tibet, what they've done in Hong Kong, what they do to Taiwan, what they do to oppress Christians and harvest organs. It is a totalitarian communist state. You have all of these woke CEOs who are putting profit, John, about what they've done to Tibet.
Billions into the Beijing Olympics don't care much about them either.
Yeah, all of these companies are focusing on access to the Chinese market and getting Chinese money, as opposed to focusing on principle, a genocide against China's own people. And that's saying nothing, John, about.
And on that principle point, I want to expound on it a little bit. Like I said, when you really watch these guys cast, like I said, I've been watching these guys probably since the first episode. Shout out to you brothers based on the work they've been doing. Shout out even my brother JCAL, bro, as far as the VC space. Just a cold VC. I check my boy JCAL. He's speaking on principles. And Chamath was kind of expounding on this, and he was saying, yo, within our space, they got it where they say, yo, you do marijuana, or you within gambling, don't invest into this and don't invest into this, and you will, you feel me, submit to those rules based on your principles, and maybe they may or may not even align with your principles, right? So like, who am I to really be judging somebody based on their country, right, when I could really look at them as a character based on their principles? If me and his principles align, then okay, it's not about me trying to rock with China because they're dictatorship, and it's like, yo, this guy right here, he believes in family, he believes in this, he believes in that, he believes in this, I can empathize with him. Right, so we have to always keep those things in context and stop trying to make it seem like some wild ass situation. Right, you could always put things in the context where you can empathize with somebody that may be completely different from you, from a different spectrum, right? But you have to keep those things in context. So I just wanted to really talk about that when he was talking about principles, because like I said, if you watch the cast, the brother brought up that when he was talking about principles.
About what they've done to Tibet, what they've done in Hong Kong, what they do to Taiwan, what they do to oppress Christians and harvest organs. It is a totalitarian communist state. You have all of these woke CEOs who are putting profits over principle.
Senator, we just got about a minute left. I wanted to ask you about another development, and that is that China has stopped selling tickets to Chinese people for the Olympics. It's not selling tickets to people overseas because Omicron is now starting to really kind of run rampant there in Beijing. Are you concerned? You have voiced concerns in the past. Now that Omicron is beginning to spread quite rapidly, about what U.S. athletes will endure in the next 2.5 weeks, and what should the U.S. OC do about it?
John, I'm very concerned. I called for a total boycott of these Olympics a couple months ago because the Biden administration didn't have a plan to keep our athletes safe from Chinese surveillance or harassment. Now that China has been selling tickets to its citizens, it's time to reschedule these games. Look, we did that to the Tokyo Summer Games 2 years ago, and the Summer Games are much larger and much more complex logistically than the Winter Games. It would be very easy to reschedule these games for the coming winter and to move it to a civilized democratic nation somewhere around the world. That's what should happen now.
All right. Senator Tom Cotton of the great state of Arkansas, good to be with you today. Thanks for joining us.
Out here, I'm trying to have a productive discussion. Freeberg, I'm not trying to put him in a spot.
I don't get offended. I'm not offended.
I'm trying to have a productive discourse.
I don't get offended at anything.
Okay. But I want to make it clear that I'm not trying to call out besties here. I'm trying to have a productive dialogue
Would you
about
take
human
money
rights.
from Prince Allocating? He's like one of the largest investors in the world.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
You
I would
like
not. He's a Saudi investor.
Group.
Yeah, he's a Saudi investor.
So if they're
and the money
just a
comes
citizen of Saudi Arabia, you wouldn't.
If the money comes from a dictatorship, from an authoritarian country, I would 100%.
Well, no, Jason, he was locked up. He was locked up at the Ritz, and he was forced to give a bunch of his money. And so it wasn't clear.
Doesn't he mostly live out of the country anyway? I mean, like
again, if his money, if you're asking me, let's put aside a specific person. I'll just tell you my philosophy.
He's a citizen or a former citizen of that country.
He was born there, JCAL.
Yeah, I agree. Let me just tell you, I would never take money from an authoritarian regime.
Would you take money from a Chinese billionaire?
No, I would not take it from a Chinese. No, I would not take it from a Chinese. If I,
well, they're not an authoritarian regime. The
Chinese are not an authoritarian regime.
No, we're talking about a Chinese billionaire.
If the Chinese billionaire was outspoken about human, I would tell you, it's a great thought question. and I'm just riffing here. It's a great thought experiment. If a Chinese billionaire had left China and was
would you
in
take
favor of
Chamath's
human
money?
rights?
Because Chamath has violated your human rights at the poker table many times.
That's true. That's true. He has turned over 2-7 going all in when I have 2 pair, and I'm like, I guess he's got a set, and he just absolutely tortures me.
Yeah.
So, but no, I would not. I would if the person was a reformer, yes, I would consider it. I would consider it.
Jason, I guess what you're saying is like, you, and this is your decision to make.
My decision, yes.
It's important for you that you understand what people's personal belief systems are when you take money from them.
No, human rights is important to me.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like their personal belief system. Like, you wouldn't care less if they were an illicit drug user, right? For somebody else. So for example, I'll give you an example. So I did take money from a Chinese billionaire when I first started Social Capital. Yep. I'm not going to say who it is.
No need.
But there was a morality clause, and there were certain things that were incredibly important to this person. And they were very easy for me to reflect because they were nothing that I cared about. But, they explicitly didn't want certain kinds of investments in.
Well, there's gambling, cannabis, sex, porn.
Well, for me, the list was gambling, alcohol. Anyway, my point is, you're fine signing up to those moral judgments from an investor.
Am I?
But not necessarily, silence on. I'm asking you the question. You would be fine signing up for those moral delineation of what you can and can't do, even if it's not against what you believe. But you have a different issue when it comes to silence on these other topics.
Yeah, I would. Here's how I'll answer the question. If I'm taking other people's money to invest it and they don't want to invest in the adult, I don't have a problem with cannabis as an example. I don't have a problem with wagering and gambling. But if I'm building a fund to invest in businesses, that's not an important issue for me. And I don't know that's a great venture investment. And I can also invest outside of it my own money. So it's a more nuanced issue there. Like I have invested in wagering apps, and I'm thinking about creating a syndicate specifically for gambling and wagering. And yes, there are LPs who I currently have in my previous fund, the active fund, that I do not invest in wagering because of that. So yes. And it's because they just want clarity in some cases on not getting sued for investing in a wagering companies where we don't have a federal mandate yet. So, I think comparing these are great thought experiments and important discussions to have. But human rights transcends everything for me.
I was fine signing up for no alcohol because my father was an alcoholic, and so it was morally aligned. And there was a certain investor who, at one point, tried to be an LP, very well-known person who was convicted of domestic abuse. And I didn't take that money because I had been the victim of domestic abuse as my mom.
Yep.
And so that was a moral issue for me. The point I'm trying to make to you, Jason, is that it's very nuanced. Everybody can be on a bunch of different sides of this thing. And I tend to think the most consistent, reliable thing is that these are very local beliefs. That when they touch you, you have a point of view on them. And I think that, it's much more practical, and maybe this is just being too practical, to see a world where people want to fix their own backyard first. And I think a lot of why you may be disappointed that a lot of people don't have a stronger view on things like China is people are a little exhausted with having moral views about things that are so far away when things in their own backyard are so broken.
Yeah. And I can understand that exactly.
Right, so I just hope we was here to hopefully, able to educate the folks like we always try to do. Like I said, bro, with trading, with all this shit, this is psychological, bro. There's no need for you to overthink, and there's no need for you to get feedback from other places, right? You need to get the full story if you are getting feedback from another place. So like somebody get on here, like something like Fox or any of these different networks, they don't have enough time to really run a media company. So they come in here 9 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. They got to play a video, 30 seconds. You got to talk. It's a game, right? Just make sure you don't get caught up in the narrative, bro. You even when you trade, you gotta eliminate a lot of the noise. You don't want to be watching CNBC or none of these motherfuckers when you trading.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to hear Jim Cramer on the screen. Oh, I don't know about no, that don't mean nothing to me, bro. I want to lock in, right? Get into somewhere where it's quiet, where all the feedback is for you. You're around people that's like-minded, but that's all we got for today, man. We'll probably try to do something as far as get on here and show some charts. I don't know, might make up another day for another cast. Call it We Watch Chart Wednesdays or some wild shit, wild shit. But I'm ready, Empress.
All right, guys, that is the conclusion of episode 178 of the Black Wall Street Bets Taco Tuesday, where we talk about currency only. We will be back on Friday for our Freestyle Friday segment. Until then, keep checking out the clips and peace.